Hail adventurers!
Oh,
And welcome to the 85th episode of D&D. I'm not going to try and do that the whole time because that actually hurts. I didn't even have
Episode
drum
of
effects
20
before the
presented by
podcast.
Ray Winston.
By Leah Law, Jack. By Leah Law.
Oh, sorry.
Come on now. Everyone knows Leah Law at this point.
Sorry, Leah.
Desire your dungeon master for the evening, and once again I'm joined by my colourful cast of characters. As you can see, Mitch is unfortunately not with us tonight. He currently has a bug. And I will leave it at that. The kind of sickness bug. An illness. He is ill, so he won't be joining us. And welcome back to Hayden, who has been away for a little while. I'm not sure exactly how much he is aware of what transpired. I'm not even sure where you guys were 4 or 5 episodes ago, so...
I've looked at the memes without context, and I am scared. I'll just put it like that.
As you should be. I'm sure the guys will give you a rundown. But before we get into the session as normal, let's do our normal round of shout-outs and updates if there are any. So let's start with Maya today.
yeah.
Maya, take it away.
Hey, my name's Maya. I'm a player and I stream. I can't find a way to make streaming rhyme. I play Genshin Impact on Chibi-chan, and I did actually stream this week, which is an achievement for me, because I've been very inconsistent with it, but it's picking up slowly but surely. So come and check it out. It's going to be a lot of fun. I am building the perfect team for the Electro Goddess. So if you are interested in team building and farming materials, then that's the main thing, I guess, until the update comes. There you go.
Thank you very much, Maya. We all know what all of that information meant.
100%.
We know everything.
Which brings us to Sam.
Hello.
How about you give us an inkling of what goes on over in Samland?
I'm Sam the man, and I stream my
Pokemon.
peen. I don't. That's my only fans. If you want to pay for that.
It's a theme this week now.
On the other end of the spectrum, I actually stream a lot of Pokemon. Sam JKP on Twitch and YouTube. I haven't streamed in a while because I'm like moving, but streams will be starting again.
Yeah, your
soon.
post is gone.
Yeah, it's like I feel weird.
I'm not happy about that.
I'm in an empty room.
I like to sometimes squint and try to read what it says at the back.
Yeah.
So I'm a little disappointed in that, but
I'm sorry.
move
I'll
swiftly on.
write something on the wall for you.
You should, in permanent marker if preferable. Mitch obviously isn't here today, so Jay, would you like to shout out Natural Wonders?
Oh yeah, so in a galaxy far long time ago, in a fucking
Jesus Christ!
I can't today. I can't. Anyway,
That's
come on
good.
now, Monday, 7 p.m. Natural Wonders. If you love Star Wars and love role-playing games and love drug-fueled adventures, then come on in. It's got Mitch as a DM.
What are you
It's got
selling here, Jay? What are you selling?
Ewan. It's got Sam.
What are y'all
It's not
drinking
wrong.
and where can I get some?
Okay. Well, as you can see, I'm pretty sure everyone here has done a couple of shots before the game.
I've just had a something else.
And there's our answer, ladies and gentlemen. So, thank you very much. Thank you, Jay. The link being in the chat. Other than that, I think I'm going to shout out our Discord every chance I can get. Come and join us on there for stuff like maps, where we put up shit for the game. I haven't put up the last one. Forgot about that. But talking about D&D and other shit, come and join us on there. And updates about the stream, because there are probably going to be quite a few of them in the coming couple of months. So it's good to keep up with that. Other than that, is there any other updates or anything else anyone would like to shout out before we begin today? Okay then, forever hold your peace. I guess with that, without further ado, we'll delve into today's episode of Dirty 20.
Oh, it's 20, 'cause everyone.
And welcome back. So, previously on Dirty 20, with Deep Bay now far behind them, Fera Carta continued their journey eastward. Their destination, the mysterious Stronghold of Valour, where a promise of 20,000 gold pieces lay in wait. The journey was tough, braving the frigid mountain trail and the dangerous road through the Howling Grounds. During your journey, you were beset by riders, the survivors left unconscious along the roadside. That night, you were met by a travelling group of refugees from Harwick, a familiar town in Bellinor. But rather than the Foyfortian occupation, their tale of retreat was spurred by the emergence of a green-scaled dragon. Bidding farewell to the travellers the next morning, you saw back to the road, but not long into the journey, you came upon the ruins of another village. The massacre within fresh. Deciding to avoid involvement, you pressed on for more days. One afternoon, a storm began to roll in as a flurry of snow and sleet fell from the sky. Among the fog around you, sounds of chuckling filled the air, and soon you were ambushed by a group of humanoid hyenas, rabid in intent and an insatiable hunger directed towards you. With the creatures slain, a few more days brought you within reach of your destination, a crumbling wall atop a plateau surrounded by encampments. Passing through its gates, you saw the interior, a mash of simple, solid structures, tents and huts, appearing more of a massive camp. Your eyes were drawn to the two major buildings, the castle and arena at the heart of the stronghold. Eyes of many races glanced over at you as you rode your horses down the main thoroughfare into the stronghold proper. And with that, Fera Carta, is where we pick up. So, the sounds of an active camp fill the air. Singing, shouting, fighting, it's all present. The smells of many different types of food waft from camp to camp. As you come to a halt, heavy footfalls behind you splatter mud across the side of your horses. A lumbering, pale-skinned ogre pushes past. Out the way! Continuing on through the clusters of people along this main road. What do you wish to do?
We have a
I'm just
wild.
gonna turn to Gaia and be like, so this is your call?
God, we're actually here. What's like building wise? What's around? Is there like?
Okay, well, I guess we should bring you onto a new map.
Oh!
Oh.
Oh, hot shit.
So let's put that on so that everyone else can see it. The Orions. This is the Stronghold of Valour. So the two main buildings that you can see are detailed 1 and 2. They're the two main structures. The very unmistakable structure of a keep slash castle at the back, and closer towards you is this large wooden structure with stone supports that reaches up like a Colosseum, like the Colosseum. Except you can see what could be best described as like an aviary dome at the top. This metal mesh of bars that comes up in this dome-like structure that appears to come from the interior of this arena building. And you can see flags draped down from the building itself properly. Like what we'll say is you're probably about here as you come through. And as you stand there in front of these large sets of doors, well, not in front, but facing towards these large set of doors, there is two massive flags that are flapping quite, not majorly violently, but they're moving significantly, of what appears to be a symbol. Let me just get that up so I don't forget it. Is it going to be on? This is the problem when you put the same thing like in so many locations and you type it into search, it comes up with many different things. Oh, I know where I can see it. Sorry, apologies. Una Minuto.
Spelling Valor wrong this entire time.
You spell it without the
There
U.
we go. So you see what appears to be like this, it's almost like this skull, but it's like an elongated skull, brown in colour, and the top part appears to be slightly cracked through the skull, and you can see almost like texturing on the left-hand side of the skull itself, almost like scarring marks. I will see if I can send that to you. This will be on the Discord. But that's the symbol that you see on these flags draped down in front of this arena. It's in the Discord. In the the main data stream. That's what you see.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I see.
But other than that, what would you like to do?
I kind of turn to the rest of the group, and we have a while till the actual competition starts, correct?
Yes. How many days is left now until the competition?
The day currently is 2-day-03rd of Deep Winter.
Mm-hmm.
You have probably about 9 days. The competition starts on 1-day-01st of Dawning, so you've got just under a 10-day.
I suggest we
Got quite a lot
train
of time.
every day, develop a strict routine and discipline within our group in order to squash out any weakness.
Oh yeah, you're already walking away. Where are you going?
Yeah, as soon as Alistrine says that, Guy just looks at her, and then I'm just gonna fly up like 50 feet in the air, and I'm gonna do a sweep of the like entire area, trying to get a closer look at everything that's around, and particularly that castle, see if I can see inside it or anything.
Okay. So as you fly up, you can see camps and more solid buildings, huts and the like, spread out within the interior of these crumbling walls that line this plateau. You also have passed, so you would know, you can see a larger tower closer towards the entrance of the stronghold, on the southwest side of the, call it the compound, which itself is walled off There is a large amount of foliage on the northwest-ish up here, which seems to be obscuring some kind of ruins. And as you swoop round, you can see the large castle. Very clearly, in some of the towers that are around, there are. You notice there are hobgoblins, actually. These red-skinned individuals in like chain armor, holding very heavy crossbows that watch you intently as you begin to make your way round. Do you wish to get closer to the castle?
Yeah, I'm gonna make sure that I'm gonna try and look as unthreatening as possible. I want to get closer, have a look. You know, if I can see if there's any cracks, any holes, any windows. Just try and get a little glance inside.
Okay. Right. So if you get a little bit closer, you can see one of them seems to say something. The wind is howling. It's difficult to really hear from, the height that you are currently at, and really just the distance you are from these people. As you see, this one hobgoblin seems to kind of mutter something to another one as they turn and walk over towards the first, and they both watch you as you get slightly closer. Roll me a perception check.
Fuck me.
Yeah, from this distance, the light from the outside. Let me just double check what time of day it is. I believe it's the mid-afternoon. It is. So it's about 3 o'clock in the afternoon, we'll say. So the light is beginning to wane, ever so slightly. And as you begin to swoop round, you're not getting a lot of time for your eyes to adjust to the darkness of the interior. That all you see is just darkness.
Okay.
And as you begin to get closer and swooping round, you see one of them kind of like rest the crossbow on the top of the a crenellation. Doesn't look like it's getting ready to fire at you, but like it I would say you don't need to roll necessarily for this, but you can definitely get a stomach inclination, a vibe check, if you will, that there's a bit of a warning going on.
Okay.
Get any closer, we're gonna fire on you.
Yeah, I don't want to piss anyone off, and I'm just doing, a quick little look around. So I'll leave that for now, and I want to just quickly do like a flyby. Yeah. Quickly do a flyby of the the ruins that you said I spotted in like the foliage.
Alright, as you get closer, swooping around the north side of the stronghold, those ruins become a little bit more visible. It appears to be some kind of larger structure. It's hard to really ascertain exactly what it is, but you do see masonry underneath and like a slate roof covered in mostly vines and refuse. But the whole thing appears to be completely overgrown, like trees and vines and bushes seem to almost completely obscure the area. It's hard to see in much at all from where you are currently.
Okay. Since I've literally just flown off without saying anything, I am going to go back to the group, but that is somewhere that I'm going to want to go back to for sure.
Okay.
As Guy comes back, I want to chat to him and everyone. I was like, when you mentioned this place, I was expecting more of a druid grove. They all seem quite. Am I right in saying there's a lot of hill tribe? Hill folk, like a lot of. Is it just
you look around and you see an entire camp of orcs.
Oh yeah,
like maybe 40 foot away from you. They seem to be tearing into like a raw bit of meat. And then as you look to your left, you can see what appears to be a small camp of goblins that are fighting over something, and you watch one of them stab a dagger into their throat and tear it across as it just drops to the ground.
No, not exactly.
And the others begin to laugh and they kind of drag it off behind a tent.
Is this what you were expecting?
Honestly, I'm not sure what I was expecting. I guess this was just built on the site of the circle. This is nowhere near what I was thinking we would encounter.
We going to be looking for something that is similar to the one that we saw at the Grove.
That's what I'm thinking, yes.
Something like that. I mean, would it be up top? Could it be underground?
I saw something in the north that looked like it could have been some sort of ruins, but it was concealed. I couldn't see very much.
Well, we could
Here's
go and look.
many questions. We should absolutely go and look. But let's say, we get seen. Do we want to participate in the competition first and try and get this money first and then have a look, or do we want to possibly look first?
I mean, we do have 9 days. We could see if we can find anything out without pushing too hard. And then once the competition's done, we have nothing to worry about.
Would be a bad idea to find out more about this esteemed butcher as well. Maybe somebody knows something about him.
Yes. Scout out the competition.
I am interested in what was it you said you saw?
Me?
Yes.
Some ruins in the north. They were obscured. Seemed very old and overgrown.
Well, it seems like we have time, and judging by the present company, I think I would rather be somewhere more quiet.
Yes, even if just to get our heads together.
I'm gonna start heading towards the north.
Yeah, seeing Alistrine start walking that way, I'll start heading off as well. In the kind of guide in the direction of where I saw it.
Okay, so you're heading towards the that ruin to the north.
Yes.
Alright. So you begin to make your way. The buildings and tents and like small encampments, you begin to immediately notice that there's no structure of road systems here. It's like going to a festival. The only main road that you have seen isn't even a road, it is just a muddy track that led from the gate towards the front of the arena, and there is like a circle around the arena. I think like Wembley, where there's like, there's a path system around. That's basically the only clear walkway that you see. As you veer off, you're winding through buildings between tents and camps, and oftentimes you find yourselves like almost walking through the middle of a camp before you get some very dagger-fueled eyes, which may or may not discourage you, but regardless, there are no conflictive moments, but you definitely feel slightly off-put. Who is leading the way?
Yeah.
Guy.
I'll be like flying around like 10 feet off the ground, just leading them in that direction.
Fluttering.
Yeah, just
It's a hummingbird now.
I want you to roll me. I want you to roll me a d10.
Oh.
Oh god.
You want some nectar?
Is that really good or really bad?
That is the question. It's whatever I decide. Okay. Fuck, where did I put it? There we go. Alright. Alright. So, as you're making your way through, you've been here for like maybe 30 minutes tops, maybe 40. And you're heading through. There's a cluster of buildings as you get slightly more westward of the arena, which still you can see above the buildings. Like it and the castle are the two largest structures, which are almost always visible as a point of orientation. As you pass by a small cluster of buildings, there is a almost makeshift alleyway that has emerged from where these buildings have propped up. And as you pass, you can see there are 3 large green-skinned individuals. One appears to have like a set of knuckle dusters on with spikes on the end. The other 2 are brandishing 2 large great swords on their backs, and they are looking over, leaning down towards this rather frail-looking human who appears to be wearing some kind of like blue, purple, and green attire, which has some kind of sense of worth to it, maybe perhaps noble attire with these puffy shoulders, and they have a ruff as well, with short slick back black hair and a very well groomed goatee. Seems to kind of be hands up against a wall, and these orc are kind of leaning over. The one at the front is the one with the knuckle dusters, who is currently like clicking his fingers. And as you pass, you can sense that they are in some kind of heated discussion.
Do we hear anything that they say?
You hear the orc at the front say in a fairly broken trader's tongue, "You're gonna pay for this."
I'm
Can
gonna.
I pause and try and listen?
Tallahassee?
Yeah, I was gonna say, are they up against? They're up against a wall, right?
Yeah, they're up against like a wall of a building.
I want to land on the
in like a
roof.
very small alleyway that looks to be about 6 foot wide between these 2 buildings.
I want to land on the roof and see if I can listen in for a couple seconds.
Okay. As you land on the roof, you hear a small conversation take place as this human, who's still up against the wall. I assure you, it's nothing like that. I said you're gonna pay for this. Well, look, perhaps a little coin will make your friends sheath their blades. And you see him click his fingers again, and he goes for a swings, and the human seems to duck out the way, and falls onto the floor, splattering mud over their garments as the orc slams his fist into the stone, which crumbles away as he pulls his fist back. Lucky dodge! And he goes to like grab the human, and currently he's like grappling him by the ruff.
Seeing as this guy, obviously, he said he has a lot of coin. I'm gonna pop my head over the corner of the alley and just look down and be like, "What seems to be the problem?"
You see the orc look up at you. Who are you?
I am. That is none
Now
of your
he's my
concern.
friend! I've been looking everywhere for you!
Yes. What have you gotten yourself
this
into
is
this
my
time?
good friend. He is very, very, very good at fighting.
That is true. Yes. What have you gotten yourself into this time?
It's nothing really. I assure you. These fine gentlemen were just about to let me go. He spits a big globule onto the floor, which you can see settles in the mud. You ain't getting away with what you've done.
May I?
He begins to pick him up a little bit more off the ground. You can see his legs like dangling. Oh, please put me down, sir.
May I ask what he has done? If it is something as bad as you seem to be acting, I will gladly let you kill him.
It's none of your business. Now fuck off.
Well, I can make it my business.
Ooh, Gayak!
Damn.
Being so proud. I was like,
Big words.
Doing that pole change for
Wanna
me now.
come down here and talk about it?
I'm gonna jump off
Birdie.
and land in the alleyway. at the end of the alleyway.
As you do so, you see he kind of looks at the human, throws him against the wall. Oh! And it slumps down into the mud. And the 3 orc now like step forward about 10 foot away from you, one of them cracking his knuckles again. I'm gonna enjoy this.
Can I intervene?
You can. You can. I mean, you guys are not
As
too
soon
far away
as
from
I'm
him.
gonna jump down as well.
I am gonna
Alright.
I'm gonna walk in looking very superior and say, now, you know the camp rules, no fighting until the competition begins. What business have you with these fellows?
Roll me a deception check. Roll me a deception check.
I'm really hoping they're not that intelligent.
I'm really hoping this guy does have money on him.
Whatever. Come on. We'll see these guys later. And they begin to. The one with the knuckle dusters turns and walks down the other side of the alley. The other two look at each other, give a look to you guys,
I'm gonna wink at him.
and to walk away.
So,
He's gonna take a long last stare at you, Gaiak. Walk away.
Kai, I'm so impressed.
know.
That was so well done.
there was 3 of them. One of them could have snapped him like a toothpick. It wasn't exactly a fair fight.
But it was the way you managed it. It was very, you channeled that sneaky,
I
sneaky
channeled,
energy. I love
channeled
it.
my inner Aria.
Oh, I'm so proud.
Okay, anyway, do we want to deal with this guy? What's your name?
Thank you very much. I appreciate what you did there, friend. The name is Leonardis Speckledrop.
And what on earth, Leonardis, are you doing here?
I'm here for the tales, of course. Big, strong opponents fighting each other, shooting arrows and swinging swords and blasting magic. Of course, why would I miss such an opportunity to talk tales?
Well, it's not going to be much good to you if you are dead.
Well, I'm alive, aren't I?
You were very
By
close
the
to
skin of
becoming
your
one of
teeth.
those stories.
Ah, but I wasn't. I am alive and well, thanks to you, kind folk.
They want. Why you owe them money or whatever?
Money boots like that don't care about money.
So you lied.
No, what?
So you lied, you don't have money.
Well, I have a small coin purse myself, yes, but they weren't looking for money. That's what you asked.
What were they looking for?
Well, let's just say I may or may not have had a chance encounter with that brute's sister.
See. Yes.
Didn't really take well to it.
See.
You've bitten off more than you can chew then.
No, believe me, I could tell you a tale too.
I
Good.
So he's like
Knew
rub
it.
his side a little bit.
Do I see teeth marks on his side?
I mean, he does look like he's nursing a bit of a wound somewhere.
Some love bites around his chest.
Jesus
Oh, might I know my saviour's name?
I'm gonna turn towards Guy.
My name is Gaiak.
Glad to have made your acquaintance. Guy.
I'm gonna
Green.
Oh my god.
Fucking hell.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
Was there any worth to this at all, other than saving this man from a fate he may have deserved, or?
Deserved? For fucking someone, please.
Hardly a criminal offense.
But-
no harm in a short romp.
The question
That being
still
said,
stands
A
though.
short
any,
prop, Leonatus.
any worth for stopping you from being a splattered mess on the wall?
Judging by the way you're limping, it wasn't very short.
Well, that's a story for another time, perhaps.
So no thanks then. No. How about I buy you a drink? How about I throw
Of
some
course,
money your
of
way?
course. I would be happy to purchase drinks for you all at the Gorge and Grog, perhaps.
Where?
Gorgon
The
Grove.
Gorge
The
and Grog.
Gorge and Grog.
It's the local establishment here.
Do we want to go?
Don't expect too much, though.
What time of day is it? It's
Uh,
getting late.
About mid-afternoon. The sun will probably be down in a couple of hours.
Or
Maybe-
perhaps
Could have information.
perhaps you would be interested in a potential tale that we might be discovering.
Now you're talking my language.
We're heading to some ruins further up north. We think that this site, well, we have information that this site was built on an old druidic circle. We're gonna go
Yes.
and
The-
explore.
Yes, I have heard the tales. Fascinating.
I mean, if you're
And
interested.
you're here simply to investigate these ruins? Are you a group like you? You should be taking part in the competition.
Of course, of
Look at you,
course.
you've got blades. It looks at you, Storm. You have. I'm sure you have a skill of some kind.
Well, you'll just see.
I'm terrified to find out.
Well, I mean, if you're interested, we're going now. So it's up to
Yes, and we're burning the last little bit of daylight we have left.
Well, I would be happy to join you. And to use your company to not be, as you say, splattered against a wall.
I'm gonna start like walking out of the alleyway past him, and as I walk past him, I'm gonna guidance him and just look at him and say, "You'll be needing that."
Ooh, what was that?
Yeah, for a minute.
No, it's
Okay,
a
yeah,
lovely
yeah.
sentiment.
you. Let's go ahead in.
He'll follow you out as you walk.
As he turns around, I'm going to use my Eldritch Sight just to see if he's got anything on him.
That's detect magic, right?
Mm-hmm.
I don't think you pick anything up.
Huh?
Other than what you'd expect from
From our group, yeah. Of course. Okay.
Let's start heading then.
So you're heading towards the ruins. So weaving your way through the rest of the building's intense, you find yourselves coming to the northern edge. So yeah, you see that the encampments begin to fade out, going from what felt quite dense to slowly becoming a little bit more sparse. And as you approach this like thick foliage, the civilization seems to have all but dispersed. You are kind of now at the edge of where people are currently moving around. You feel fairly isolated, but in front of you it is just like a mass of bushes and trees. It's like walking through or coming up against a thick brush. How would you like to proceed?
I'll fly over over anything.
As you begin to lift off the ground, as you get about 10-15 foot high, you can see that it just keeps going through. It doesn't look like it's a hedge that you can just fly over. It looks like a thick brush that leads over. It is like a cloud of foliage encompassing this entire area.
To get like to the ruins, does it look like I would have like? Does it look like I'd be able to like fly over and then enter at another point, or would I have to go like through it?
From when you did that first pass across, it looks like you probably would. I mean, you could fly over it and come down at some point, but you're not. You can't see. It's not like there's a clearing at a certain point. It looks like a full carpet of foliage.
Can I?
From above, but you could go through the canopy. You just won't see below.
Can I go up to the where like the foliage starts and just kind of like feel it and see if there's any like stone or anything behind it? If, almost like if it's like ivy or something climbing up walls and like covering it.
Absolutely. Roll me. Okay, yeah, I'm not going to make you roll for this actually. So you walk up to the foliage and kind of place your hand through, begin to feel. It just goes in. You feel it graze on your arm where a branch kind of cuts into your arm a little bit, but it just goes through until your arm is up to your shoulder. Pull it out. There's no stone behind. It just looks like a thick brush that has not been cut down. It's not intended to. It's like it's just been left, and it's just overgrown. By quite a lot, actually. Who here is proficient with nature?
I am.
We did have someone!
If you're proficient with nature, roll me a nature check.
I am.
Fuck me.
You know.
Oh, no.
12.
It is quite thick. It is a very thick brush.
And this brush thick.
It is thick with juicy.
That's what the girl brush said.
Yeah, I think that's what you'd gather with a 12.
If this brush is the York sister, I get it.
Thick.
Ewan, please kick Sam out of the game.
I'm tempted. I'll kill off Gaiac first. We'll give
Yeah,
him,
just
give
I mean,
some
get
entertainment
rid
for
of
the
him. We'll
rest
bring
of
Leolor in.
That's what you deduce.
I'm gonna take out my
Seems to be
rapier
a thick brush.
and start cutting.
Okay, as you take your rapier and begin to cut, the rapier bends because it doesn't have a blade. It only has a pointy end.
Oh yeah, fuck.
I'll give it a go as well. I use my scimitar.
Okay.
See how that-
Yeah, you can cut through the brush. As you cut through, it breaks apart and you're able to push it out the way. It just looks like no one has come through this area for a very long time, if ever, and it's just overgrown. As you cut your way through, nothing kind of leaps out and attacks you, but very quickly the sounds of the rest of the camp begin to fade away as you head further into the foliage. I would like all of you to roll me a survival check, please.
Ooh.
Meanwhile,
Ew.
Oh, fuck me, my first roll. Was good.
Alistair is instantly dead.
Let's see what horrific stuff is in store.
Do we get 2 natural ones from that?
yeah.
Yep.
We got a natural 1 and a 2. Yeah, 2.
Someone missing.
Yep.
Jesus Christ.
We did so bad. With survival this low, how are we still alive? Seriously.
Pretty bad. So as you cut your way through, that is such bad rolls.
Yeah, terrible.
I need to check this for a second.
Oh god.
Oh god, we're gonna get separated, aren't we?
His
Right,
little
so
brush.
So, at certain points as you're cutting through, you begin to see some of you kind of like directing you off in the wrong direction, and luckily there are some of you that are kind of a little more in tune with where you're going. And Gaiac has had a view from above already, so luckily you managed to keep on track towards your destination. And as you pass through, you can see through some of the thorns and vines that have grown up around a particular area, you can see what appears to be about 60 foot away from you, these like almost like purple flowers with green tipped thorns that seem to swirl in a particular area, and you realise you would have veered off in that direction had you not succeeded. But with that, you cut away, and eventually, as you take one final slice, you push through the vines into not a clearing, but it's hard to describe. It's almost like the foliage has grown around this area.
A grove.
Immediately in front of you, yeah, almost like a grove. You step forward and you see this masonry building about 5 foot in front of you as you cut through the final section. It is crumbling in places with a severely damaged steeple. Clearly some kind of church, familiar to Eridel and Alistair, who went to a similar looking church in Deep Bay.
Best buds.
Yes. This is... looks a lot different
You
when
see
you're not
that
drunk.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, this one, the masonry is almost covered entirely in vines and leaves, with tall bushes that blanket the external walls and seem to cover most of the windows. Now this deep in, the foliage muffles, if not completely quietens out the stronghold behind you. As you kind of come into this, we'll call it a grove, you can see on one end of the church-like building that the two front dark wooden doors are severely damaged. One is off its hinges, the other lays on the floor splintered, like something smashed into the front of the wood. But you are here at the quote-unquote heart of this massive foliage.
I am going to turn to Gaiac and I'm going to ask him what the fuck we're looking for.
Honestly, I have no idea.
Ha!
Brilliant.
Bananas is still with us, right?
Bananas?
Yeah, I just...
I honestly.
Yeah, he is currently
I have bananas
still
too.
with you.
Yeah, you always hear bananas whenever I speak, Sam.
He should have made a roll there actually, but it is what it is.
Yep. So he's just chilling with us.
He is currently chilling with you.
Nice.
I'm going to have a look around. I'm going to go through the broken
I'm gonna-
doors.
I'm gonna go in.
Yeah, I'll
If we
follow suit.
activate it at the grove
Okay.
in the other place. Can you remember?
Hmm?
The other
What?
place that we were at. The
What
druid
place?
place.
The grove?
Yeah, how did we do it then?
Do what?
We
Wasn't it activated?
No, all we
No.
noticed was there were pillars with houses written on them. I think.
Oh,
Yeah,
it wasn't
the
actually
eighth
a
one was
house.
damaged.
It was just a... Okay. Alright.
It's a bit
I'm-
like this.
I mean,
Go on.
sorry. I just wanted to ask Alistair if there was anything significant about this kind of church.
Is it, there's... What, is it the same church as Deep Bay? Is it the Morrowind? not Morrowind. Church.
Morrigan.
Morgan. Yeah.
That's a different
As you
video.
look up at the front, you can see that it's slightly green tinted glass, but the window at the top has been smashed to pieces. Only small shards of it remain in the corners, and part of a tree has begun to grow through that area. It's impossible to tell from that window, Scott.
It's part
Is
of
it
the
able
Church
to-
of the Eight.
Am I able to? Yeah, am I able to tell it's part of the Church of the Eight?
Yeah, I would say I wouldn't think you would need to roll for this. I think you can come to the conclusion fairly confidently that it's linked to the Church of the Eight. It's not dissimilar to the one that you found or visited in Valour, where you got the horses and fought the Manticore.
Yeah, that's the one I was thinking of.
Hmm.
Right, I'm gonna go in then.
Yeah, I'm heading in, having a look around,
Have a
seeing
look
if there's any like images, carvings in the walls, stuff like that, symbols.
Eldritch sight. I
Before,
want to see if there's any magic.
Last time we
Before
saw
we-
something like this, a manticore attacked us, so be careful.
Can I do a vibe check?
You can indeed do a vibe check.
the door that's splintered, is it splintered inward or outwards?
Roll me an investigation check.
Oh, yeah,
Jesus Christ.
26.
Nice.
I'm a mind reader, baby. I can hear your thoughts.
Okay, so you take a moment to kind of sense your surroundings and just
Fuck's
take
sake.
stock of the situation. It's quiet, very, very quiet. I guess you're a little bit on edge, but you don't like that sixth sense of like danger is not pricking up at anything at the moment. Alistair, you take a look at the door. You can tell that it's been like knocked inwards. The door itself is currently inside the church, where it's been knocked in, and there is a like large splintering on the front where the door handle is, which you can surmise is from the outside. As for what caused it, or how long ago it was, etc., etc., beyond what you can gather from it, it's very mouldy at this point. Like it's not mouldy, sorry, it's like rotting away. And you think if you touch it, it's likely to crumble.
Fair enough.
Is there an altar anywhere?
Well, as you step through, or at least when you take a look through, you can see that there is a hallway that leads into a main atrium where the floor is cracked and covered in refuse.
Ew. Is it bird poop?
Probably a mixture of many different
I'm
things.
trying to look up what Gaiac like.
I came here earlier, sorry.
Had to mark my
I would-
territory.
I would like
It's
to
God's
look
sleep.
for anything magical with my Eldritch Sight and
Okay.
traps.
Alright, so as you take a step in, roll me an investigation as you kind of look out for traps.
25.
Okay, 25, nice. Alright, so you take some time to look at the entrance. Nothing seems to be trapped here. You do get the sense that it probably would be quite easy to hide traps in here because there are vines and leaves that cover the floor and the walls, which puts you at a little bit more of an edge. And so you watch or look a little more acutely than you normally would as you make your way through. But you do not see any indication that there are any kind of traps or anything that's going to blow up on you,
Okay.
per se.
Okay.
But you do notice as you take a step inside, as you take a step inside, each one echoes within this tall, arched ceiling. And as you look up, for those of you that would step inside, you can see birds nestling on the rafters above, which seem to just about be staying in place. The windows are cracked and falling apart, which were obscured by the bushes from the outside, but now inside you can see they are growing inwards. plant life basically fills the entirety of the interior, growing through the cracks in the walls and the ground. At the end, you can see, beyond where these broken pews are, you can see that behind this sort of sanctuary space is a cracked green stained glass window. And Alistair, you would immediately recognise the emblem of Sylvanus, along with the constellation of Inku the Lover, otherwise known as the 8th House.
The 8th house. Alright.
Which anyone who's from Bellamore will probably recognise the constellation, but maybe not the symbol.
I did research on it, so would I recognise it? Because I
you would recognise. No, you would recognise it because you actually because you did research it. You recognise both of those.
Well, we're definitely.
And when I say the constellation, I mean like it's like the symbol of the stars with like the lines connected on the glass window around this symbol of Sylvanus.
We're definitely in somewhat the right place.
Which one is Sylvanus again?
Sylvanus is basically the god of
nature, right?
Is it harvest?
Yeah.
So,
ish. So Sylvanus is you would know is sometimes referred to as the Green Man, depicted as part man, part plant. He is basically the god of nature, Father Nature, and all things that live, both animal and plant.
I have a statue of him.
Eh?
In real life, not in the game.
oh, right. That's...
I worship him in real life.
I just said it in
Above
Ari's
my
voice.
door in the garden.
Oh, look, green
It's because
man.
Sylvanus is a real Celtic god.
Yeah, got a little face of him in my garden.
That's...
I am gonna. Normally, the place to go from raids is to go to the altar. That tends to be where they keep the shiny stuff. I'm gonna go and see if there's an altar.
Classy.
Yeah, I'm going to be walking further in as well and just kind of looking at the walls, seeing what I can see and pick up on.
Sure. So, Meridel, you walk up to where that sanctuary is at the back, where there's basically an altar in there. As you approach, it is, as you probably would expect, mostly empty, except for like this very, very rusted and tarnished iron statuette of Sylvanus, which is almost which appears to be engraved into the metal of the altar.
Can I try jiggle it, like
Welded
a
onto it.
lever?
Just jiggle with it.
You grab hold of it, begin to move it around. I mean, it moves slightly, but it's welded onto the altar.
Okay. Does the altar move at all? Like if I push it?
Roll me a strength check.
Ah!
You're pop by
I'm
barbarian.
not
you
very
can do it.
strong. Weakling. Oh no.
Yeah, you push on it. Doesn't seem to budge, and you look down. It looks like there might be steam there, but it is very, very, very heavy. It's a big, basically. As you put your hands down onto the sides of it, they are cold to the touch, or it is cold to the touch, and you realise that this is basically a big block of metal.
Oh.
Okay, well, I'm gonna go and look at the wall, see if there's any like gears, any levers, anything that maybe would set something off.
Okay. So roll me an investigation for that, and we'll
Yeah.
circle back to that one. What about the rest of you? What are you doing?
I'll
As Eridel goes up to the altar.
I'll be looking at the walls and everything, like trying to find any symbols, any images, anything.
I'm
Okay, roll me an investigation check then, please.
D4.
Eridel, just remember that 8 for me.
8. Stamped on my brain.
Jesus. That was impressive.
Okay, so that's a 16 investigation.
Mm-hmm.
Alright, so, most of the walls have eroded. It looks like this damage is probably from time. This building is probably several centuries old, as far as you could tell. But you would expect that whilst it was being, used, it would be tended to avoid, the erosion of patterns and shapes and designs on the walls. But they are beginning to wear, probably where rain has come through the windows and just eroded them away. And I'd say with your 16, you could probably tell that it's been at maybe less than a century since that has happened, since people were tending to this interior. What I would also say, as you make a pass around the front, you can see parts of the masonry that look like they have deep engravings in them. And as you take a closer look, you can see they look like they were probably made by sharp metallic weapons.
Yeah, I did read that it was raided. Thinking back to when we were at the other circle, there was a building like this near the other circle, right?
There was.
Can I remember how close it was, or where in relation it was to the circle?
It was about a 10-minute walk, I believe, something like that. But it was through the woods to the actual circle itself.
Alright, may I ask you a question?
Yes.
What exactly, you might have said on the journey here, but I've forgotten, what exactly are we looking for?
Well, this is supposed to be the site of the 8th circle. Circle of the 8th house. Only problem is it has been, as far as I know, could have been destroyed. It was raided by bandits. I don't even know if it's still intact.
Right. But what exactly is the purpose of
Yes.
this? What do you want out of this? Why are we here?
I told you my dream, Thrisk, told me to come to the 8th house.
And do what?
When the moon is in the 8th house, the Lunar Rouge Royale, it all makes sense. I need to be here, but I don't know where the circle is.
Or what you're supposed to do when you find it?
No.
Right.
Well, if I was to go off of that wording, could there be some importance in it being called the Lunar Rouge Royale?
That was my thought exactly, yes.
Are we here in the wrong moment?
Perhaps.
What, so we've got to wait for a full moon or something?
Or until
Well,
the competition starts? Or
Whenever
ends?
when it's in the 8th house, I assume this means in terms of astrological sense.
What house is the moon in at the moment, then? Do we know?
I did look at that at one point.
It is in the first house. So the way that the houses work is the moon is in the moon that it's referring to moves across effectively the zodiac of throughout the course of a year, moving between house and house and house. So the first month is the first house because the moon is in that particular zodiac on that month, and that is how it refers to the other constellations. So Incu, the constellation Incu in the sky is the 8th house because on the 8th month that is where the moon is in the sky.
And where in the...
Currently the moon is in the physical moon in the sky, because there are 2 moons, but there's only a primary moon.
Does it move every month?
The first one, it moves over the course of a month, and then by the start of the 2nd month it would be in the 2nd house. By the start of the 3rd month it would be in the 3rd house. So the physical moon is currently trailing through the 1st house, and in about a week's time it will be in the 2nd house.
Far too early.
Yeah.
So we've got 8 months.
Well, not necessarily. Like I said, the Luna Rouge Royale, they... We're here for the competition. I don't see why... if nothing happens by the competition, if nothing comes of it, then fine, I guess we're here at the wrong time. But this isn't even the 8th Circle. This is a church of some sort.
It's true.
Why
It's
not
not quite like the one we found the Manticore at.
Perhaps there's something further in.
That's what I'm thinking.
Should we carry on?
Knowing how these churches are built, having obviously like lived near one in one during my when I was with my parents, would I know of any like secret passageways or if there's anything else to this church?
To this specific church?
Just like in general,
roll
if there's
me-
anything. Because obviously my church is a different house to this one.
Roll me a wisdom check. Just a straight wisdom check. I can't think of a
Cool.
skill that would be relevant. It's just kind of like just street smarts, I guess, for you.
Street smarts.
I'm smart on the streets. I will do this once my character
Character
sheet
sheet
loads.
loads.
Yes.
Oh, Eridel has been replaced by a blue.
She is the circle.
She is the 8th circle.
She is the 8th circle.
Damn, I should have done that.
Hey.
Okay. Okay, so obviously you've had experience in similar kind of structures, though yours was substantially larger than this. So the first thing you would note is that the druids are kind of separate from the church. So they are the same faith and they're respected by the church, but they don't operate under the law of the church like the other main churches and cathedrals throughout the coast. The druids are kind of like this weird offshoot. Think of them as like a secondary offshoot of the church that doesn't really have to abide by their laws. Their structures are much simpler and basic. They are effectively, in most times, basic buildings that just offer shelter, and the church aspect of them usually derives from locals that come to seek the healing powers of the druids, or seek the druids for some other weird mystical nature that which otherwise would be considered illegal or heathenistic if it was like a witch or a wizard from the east. It's a bit of a hypocritical thing because they consider it divine, and because of that they have this sort of church-like structure, but otherwise they are very, very different in terms of you wouldn't necessarily expect to see a hidden compartment as part of this structure. You might if you went to a
church
big
is
cathedral
basically
like if you went to the Junatis cathedral in Deep Bay, you might find one there. You might find secret places in that. That's not a hint, by the way.
We've got our back.
You might. Yeah, you might find one there, but your gut is telling you it's very unlikely that they would have something here. That's not to say that they don't, but it is unlikely.
So it's the church basically for the druids and means to the ends to do their magic in a way. Well, it's also worshipping.
In a way, but they kind of see themselves as the church is like this institution that looks after all the gods, but the druids are specifically about Sylvanas and about this. Their view is that they are connected to the church, but they can't be part of an institution to do Sylvanas' work because he is inherently a druidic and nature-based individual. So they kind of distance themselves from society. They're like hermits, basically.
Yeah, I'm gonna follow. I guess I would have seen Alistair looking around for like hidden stuff, or whatever. I'm gonna do a little look around for anything that moves, shifts,
I'll
any
help with that.
seams.
Go right ahead. If you, Alistair and Gayak work together to search, one of you roll an investigation check for me.
Mine's +1.
I got +2. I'll roll it.
Guidance.
Frozen.
Yep.
Guidance.
It's pretty good. That's 22 +3.
Yes, that's 25.
25. All right. Nice. So as you're walking around, you're looking. You've looked across the walls, and just kind of doing a general investigation as you walk around the interior. When something catches you out the corner of your eye, you look up towards the rafters where all these birds are, and you notice that one of these birds is pure white in feathers, and it just seems to be different to the birds. The other birds are kind of like nestling up against each other, like moving around and hopping, like flying to the other rafters. But this one is looking directly down at you.
You're white.
Pure white.
All right. Do the rafters look stable at all, or are they like gonna fall down if I put my weight on it?
I kind of described it to you when you came in, so I guess you would know that they definitely look like they are on their last legs. Too much weight on them will cause them to collapse, and it's a miracle they've not fallen down from the weight of the birds. But as you catch a moment of eye contact with this bird, you feel your foot step on something particularly hard and crunching, and immediately as it crunches, you see the flock of birds begin to fly. Like the whole flock leaps off the rafter and you would all notice this immediately, all these birds flying around the interior, and the white bird seems to disappear within the interior of these birds, which fly out through the various windows. And there are a few left that land back on the rafters, but most of the flock has immediately flown out.
I am so are there big enough crevices for me to fit through that they've like flown out of?
There are you could fly out through the windows. Yeah, they've gone through the broken windows.
I'm gonna fly out and see if I can see this white bird anywhere.
Okay, you immediately launch yourself up. Alistair, as he launches himself up, you can see exactly what he's just stepped on, but we'll come back to that as you fly
shit.
out.
I didn't even think.
Window,
Yeah, fuck.
Out into the open. I need you to roll me a perception check with disadvantage because you're looking through this thick canopy now.
Okay. Perception. So 20. Getting weirdly good rolls.
As you come out and look around, you see the birds kind of moving through the canopy, jumping and dotting around on the branches, but that white bird is gone. You do not see it anywhere. It seems to have vanished.
Okay, with that I'll go back inside.
As you begin to make your way back in, Alistair, as you see Gayak leap up, part of a bone drops off of his talon, where he had stepped on something, and as you look down, you can see that there is some kind of skeletal corpse that has been grown over on the ground from the vines and vegetation that Gayak happened to just stand on.
Can I tell what kind of race it is? Like if it's human or this
Roll me a
folk
medicine
or whatever?
check. As you kind of clear away the vines, you can see the bone itself seems to have come out from the bottom, like it looks like a leg bone of some kind. It looks like a medium humanoid, but roll me a medicine check to specify what exactly it could be. But it is in what appears to be very, very dark at this point. Maybe at some point was a greeny colour, like linen robe. It is rotting away underneath this
17.
vegetation. A 17. So I think it's easy enough to see as you clear away the skull. You can see it was probably a human.
So I'm guessing it's been here some time and haven't been grown over.
You could probably make that conclusion.
Is it just a skeleton, or is it like wearing anything, holding anything?
It is underneath. So the leg came up because the robe that it was wearing only came down past the legs, and the bone came up. But the robe itself is like a fading, mouldy old piece of linen that looks like it might have once been kind of a greeny colour. You can see patches of where the colour still remains, but it's mostly a browny burlap sort of texture.
Probably a long shot, but can I tell how it died? Like, is it in like some sort of position, or is it just laying down on its back?
I'd say with the 17, you could probably tell it's likely to have died from blunt force trauma to the chest. You can see the chest bone is kind of crushed inwards a little bit, and you can see shards of the bone at the bottom through the ribs, like resting in the bottom of the robe.
So there's nothing under him or anything like that. All I need
Not that you
to
can
move
find.
him to find out.
Not that you can see. You can move him and have a little look if you wish.
Yeah, just like move him gently to the side, see if there's
bones,
nothing.
Clatter as you move the body to the side. You just see the cracked stone beneath. You see a patch where it looks like mouldy brown underneath him.
Ew.
That's very nice. Is there any more skeletons about? Having noticed just this one.
You can certainly look around to see if you can find any.
Yeah, staying in the same spot, but just like scanning around.
Roll me a perception check with advantage because you kind of know what you're looking for now.
21.
Okay. Now that you have seen this body and kind of the texture of the robes, you stand up and look around. You
That
see
wasn't perception.
at least like 3 other. Oh, that is a persuasion check.
Yep, I've just realised
Yeah, you've seen it now.
Yeah.
Roll me an actual perception check, and we'll see how much of detail you get from that. Then
Would I be
I
back?
couldn't even pick up on that. At this point, yeah, you probably would fly back.
Oh,
again,
guidance
as Alice was looking around.
Just fly back and slap me on the back as you go.
Yeah.
Booty slap.
So perception. That is this one. 17 plus a
Okay.
D4.
Plus your D4.
I rolled it to you,
Go
so
on then.
20.
Yeah, that's fine. So 20 in total. Yeah.
Yeah.
You see the same thing. You stand up and look around. You can see at least 3 other spaces where you think there might be bodies underneath.
I take it this place didn't meet a very good end then.
I read that it was raided by bandits. There's marks in the stone that look like they were hit with weapons. I assume this man and any others who were in here were slaughtered.
I hate to
I'm
do
gonna.
this, but... Sorry, I was just gonna suggest we could look at their bodies, see if they're holding anything, hiding anything.
It's all we've got at the minute, so. Yeah, are there any other? Can we look at like the other spots? See if there
You
is
certainly can.
anything under there.
You certainly can. I'm going to jump back to Eridel real quick so that I don't forget, because I know that I will.
Yep.
So with your 8, Eridel, as you look around the walls, you're trying to see if you can find anything that looks like a lever or some kind of mechanism. As you're looking, that flock of birds starts flying around and distracts you momentarily, but you search the whole of the walls. You tug on a few, like where a sconce.
Yeah.
I think that's the right word. Would once have been, but no, nothing appears to be a secret lever or anything obvious either.
Cool.
And before you two go and have a little look at the other potential sites of corpses, Kensei, Aria, Storm, is there anything you'd like to do?
I would like to look for magic stuff.
Okay. I'm assuming you're using your thing. As you light that up, you don't see anything. How far does it reach? How far?
Always
30
get them
foot.
mixed up with the spell and text.
I'm
I
fairly
think it's
confident
30.
it's 30 foot.
Yeah.
Okay. So as you're looking round, nothing crops up, and then you get a sense of something from the rafters, and you look up and you can see an aura of likely divination surrounding a particularly white bird before it immediately bursts into a flurry of creatures and then disappears. The spell just disappears. Well, it's not the spell necessarily, but like that magical essence just vanishes within the flurry of flying birds. And then you see Gaiac fly out.
Interesting. Yeah, well, I'll just keep walking around and see if anything else pops up.
Alright.
And if not, I'll start looking for any other passageways as well.
Sure. Storm, can say anything you'd like to do? Or are you just moral supporting?
I'm looking at everyone with thumbs up.
Good work, everyone.
You're doing great, guys.
Gonna cast See Invisibility and have a look around. Have a look on some. Yeah, just have a general sweep of the place.
All right. Casting See Invisibility, are you?
Yes.
There's someone behind Gaiac just putting bunny ears up behind his head.
There's an invisible
Yeah, you don't
white
see anything.
bird.
Nothing stands out to you as you begin to look around with your invisible eyes.
Nice.
That would be horrifying, actually.
I was went invisible. Oh, that would be
Ah!
really scary.
Leon will ever get See Invisibility. That's what happens. 100%.
But they don't go invisible. They just merely transport to the ethereal plane, so they can't be
Oh
seen.
god! So now there's just a pair
Floating
of
Floating
paradise.
eyes in the ethereal plane. Yeah.
Oh my god, that reminds me of Mystery Hunters when I was a kid and I saw this. Anyway, I'm going into some real childhood trauma. Anyway.
Ewan, are you okay? Do you
I'm
want
not
to talk
okay.
about it?
Kids' cartoons were
Uh,
fucks back in the
oh
day.
Where
my
did Mystery
God.
Hunt- Where did Mystery Hunters hurt you?
Come on, you're here
Show
to
us-
you're here to relieve
show
our
us
trauma
the
through
boy.
D&D, so we're here to relieve yours.
Yes. Anyway, Kayak! So you two roll me an investigation check, and this is like the culmination of your searching for
me
the
as
other
well.
bodies. Oh, you're going to look
What
for the
was it?
bodies.
Oh no, sorry. I thought you. I
From
thought
me
you
as
said-
well. Sorry. Was that to me
Yes,
as well?
please. Yes. Yeah, yes, please.
Am I getting guidance as well, or is that for Gaiac?
He can only guidance one, unfortunately, because his
Okay.
concentration.
I try and guidance you, but I just end up slapping you instead.
What was your what were you about to say, Storm?
Oh no, no worry. I misspoke. It's all good.
Oh, okay. Okay.
He didn't. He's lying.
Alright, so that is
He's
a
lying.
16 for you, Gaiac. And a 13 for Alistair. Okay, so with those in
13.
mind, alright, so as you begin your kind of investigation through these corpses, they appear to be more or less wearing the same thing. They all look like they were once wearing robes. They are all human. You don't find anything else of particular note on them. Well, actually, one of them you do find like a leather satchel, and having a look inside, it's full of like dead matter. Likely had plants and other components in there that have long since died and rotted away.
All human, I'm guessing.
All of them are indeed human. let's see here. I will also say that as you're looking around, there's a particularly strong patch of of vines, and as you're kind of looking through, you pull some of them aside and immediately come face to face with a skull that falls forward off of a spine onto the floor and cracks. It appears to be another human, but the vines seem to be wrapping through the skeleton. I would like you to roll me a nature check. Specifically, Gaia.
Would it make
flashbacks?
Because this is like a split-second thing? Would it make sense for me to be able to use guidance?
You would not be able to.
Okay.
Yeah, this is like a momentary
25.
But amazing. Okay, so a few things immediately hit your attention, and first of all, these vines look, the way in which they're kind of growing, they look like old vines, like very old vines, like and just the kind of the texturing on them and the way that they're kind of digging into the bones, it looks like they must have been there when this person died. This is not like where vines have grown around the corpse. These vines killed.
Rip vine.
Oh god, no! I'm never saying vine again now.
Dead but never forgotten.
Thorned ivy grows through this corpse. You first of all come to the conclusion that this plant life obviously killed this person, and as you take a step back and look at the church itself, you then realise that some of this must have taken millennia to grow. So unless this plant life has been here longer than when the church clearly fell or was attacked or raided, unless it's been here longer than that, it must have been made with magical means.
Okay.
There's no way that all this plant life grew in the space of like a century.
The body.
To this extent.
The body that I've just looked at, is he wearing does he have similar clothes and stuff to the other corpses?
As you pull that aside, you can see the ivy is puncturing through half plate armor. Does not appear to be the same people.
Interesting.
And there is a very very rusted longsword resting within the foliage.
I'm gonna take a step back, turn around to the other group, kind of just thinking about everything, and just kind of half as something to say and half because it's just one of the things on my mind. I will just call out to everyone. Did anyone see where that bird went?
What bird?
There was a white bird in the rafters.
Yes, what?
I'm not sure if it is anything, but did anyone see where it went?
No.
I didn't see that.
Al, you're muted.
It was radiating divination magic.
Divination?
Mm-hmm. Which
telling
means someone's spying on us.
Oh.
Possibly.
Oh.
Did you see where it went? Did it?
I think as soon as it clocked that we had seen it, it vanished.
Oh, I know. I want to say things, but I can't.
I know. Now you understand my torment.
Yeah.
Give us Forrest's backstory quickly.
It's been 2 years, okay? It's been 2 years.
It's an Azkaban.
You've got to show some restraint.
I did my wager.
You can only break his rule if we're about to throw things into a knot. Okay?
Okay, I'm gonna set the whole thing on fire. No.
That's fine. You'll never know.
Look, Aradel is clearly getting bored over there. What are we doing?
Sorry.
I'm
That was
kidding.
so rude. I'm so sorry.
Kidding. It was rude. So I'm kidding. Who hasn't yawned them on stream? Come on now. Anyway, yes, I did not see where it went, but divination, which means
So,
either
most
someone's
likely-
spying or
Someone is watching.
That's-
something.
Something.
I don't
A
know.
druid.
I just wanted to sound scary.
Yeah. If there are
Do
druids
I-
here, we're friendly.
Do I
What the
feel
fuck?
like at this point, do I feel like I've searched this place like thoroughly enough? Do it.
Do you?
There's
I feel like
always-
I got some good rolls, you know. DM, tell me if there's more secrets.
Oh, I'm stunned.
I mean, you've definitely done a fair amount of searching up.
He said a fair. That means there's more.
I was gonna look around a bit more. I mean, as someone who maybe has an inkling for like secret passages, as someone who ran with the Thieves Guild, would I know what to look for?
I'll allow you to roll for it.
Okay. Investigation or
Yeah, an investigation. Yeah. All right. You spend some time searching the walls and the floor. It's a little difficult because you have to clear the ivy away to really get a better look at the masonry and the like. But after a fair amount of time, you don't think that there's anything that leads into a secret passage that you've seen.
just got an idea. What if the actual circle is part of the competition? Like, as in, it's somewhere we will go during it.
I mean, that
Well-
would that
That's a bit
could
of a
make
leap.
sense. I don't think it's that much of a leap. Obviously we know that this church is not the circle. The circle has to be nearby.
Wait, what
Oh
was
my
the competition called again?
The Luna Rouge Royale. I was, like I said before, when I was told when the moon was in the 8th house, perhaps the Luna Rouge Royale is taking place closer to the
And
circle.
it takes place in the 8th house. Maybe that's what it is. Oh my gosh.
What?
So my training regime might have actually been a good idea then.
What exactly was your training regime?
Yeah, sweat.
What exactly was your training regime? You just
I
said
was
you
going
had
to
one.
suggest we fight each other and train. You know, Gaiak's got his great long range thing, but if he comes up against a fucking orc, then if he gets bonked on the head, then
If I come up against an orc, then
He'll just fly.
why would I
I'm
get?
just,
Yeah, why would I?
I'm just using Gaiak as an example. If his wings were down, then it would be rather awkward. And if all of us are busy, I'm saying that we could train. Do you know what? I will never make a suggestion ever again. Excuse me for trying to make the group
I
better.
find that
Don't
hard to
be
believe,
like
but
that.
yes.
It was a
It's not
great
that-
suggestion.
It's not that bad.
I've actually heard that there's quite a few excellent fighters this year.
Oh,
And your attention
existed.
I didn't say
is
it's not
drawn. Your attention is drawn to Leonardus, who's been on the in the corner of the church, just kind of like looking around, writing it into a small notebook. Finally, kind of slaps the book closed and puts the quill in like a little pocket next to it. On the spine, and begins to walk over towards you. Clips the book into like a satchel around his strapped to his body.
How long have you been there?
I've
Came
gained
with
wisdom.
us.
Yeah,
What did you say your name was again? Milton? Or
Don't
Nilsson.
start with that
Really?
shit.
No. Hold on, I'll tell you right now. It's Leonardus Speckledrop.
What do you make of this place?
It's beautiful, if not a little melancholic. Yes. Rather inspiring, though, actually.
You said about excellent fighters. Anybody you know stood out to you?
Well, there's quite a lot of strong people. I don't know the fighters themselves. Most of the listings are kept secret until the actual event. I try to get a peep myself. But I would assume that most of the people that we've walked past on our little jaunt through the camp are likely taking part. There's quite a few competitors.
This event yearly, monthly, like.
I was told it was a sort of annual event. Aye.
Do you know anything about the burnt butcher?
Oh yes, there's a fair amount of folk talking of him. Quite a man to band together the ruffians and tribes people of the clan lands. Must be some man or woman, I don't know.
The competition, I've only just had this thought. Is it all a fight to the death?
I'm not too sure. I would assume so, though.
That makes it easier.
What's easier?
Really?
Alistair's gonna like raise an eyebrow at Gaiac, like, you sound like
as,
me.
as
What
Gaiac
the
says
fuck?
it, he just turns around and he's like thinking about something, just kind of ponder around.
Well,
Are you
that's
okay?
the spirit.
Well, I'm just thinking,
Don't
you know,
need
it's
that
easier
fighting
to
talk.
kill someone than try and keep them alive.
No, it's actually physically harder to
Okay,
try
just
and...
to
not to kill
clarify,
someone.
I
What?
have not infiltrated Gaiac's brain. He is speaking of his own accord.
Would you have said that a couple of weeks ago in the pain?
No.
A certain vampire.
Oh.
No, I am just saying that. Look,
What?
forget I
A
said anything.
vampire?
Yes.
You found a vampire?
We have seen
Yes.
I must know more.
vampire.
And
I
it-
must know
No,
more.
it's a very touchy subject. We don't talk about it.
Yes,
I
we
think it's
we
a
didn't talk
great
about that.
subject. I'll tell you everything you want to know.
No,
Excellent. We shall discuss it over dinner.
Sounds delightful.
I send a message to Aria. I use messages saying,
You do have to speak to send.
I'm
messages,
saying it
though.
under my like this. Yeah, but don't mention the part when you cast that spell on me and I drop to my knees.
Well, that's
Please.
my favorite part.
Don't.
No promises.
So, if the circle is part of the competition, I suppose we have some time to kill, and that means time to drink. So,
I like
Anybody
that
fancy?
training.
Oh, my offer, of course.
I
Whereabouts you making camp? I assume you have one set up already.
oh,
We
oh.
only arrived like an hour before we saw you.
we also didn't bring any. Wait, we do have some tents, yes.
yes. We camp every night, Storm.
We have like bedrolls.
I mean-
at least.
I think you have bedrolls. I don't think you actually have tents.
We
Why
don't
not? Why not here? This seems like a pretty decent place. It's secluded.
Oh yes, with all these
Haunted.
molded corpses. Old.
You don't have to sleep next to them unless you want to. Are you telling me you have some weird, creepy?
No, I don't.
things to do? Okay.
Wait, wasn't the last time we stayed in a church overnight? You almost
I
died.
almost died.
Yes. Yes.
Just a suggestion. Go on.
You see that this guy is now like almost salivating with the idea of how many stories you guys have to tell.
We are a motley crew.
You see him immediately. He pulls the book out slowly and starts taking notes. We'll ask them about that one.
Yeah,
Yes, the
yeah.
last time we stayed in a decrepit church, Alistrine almost died. The last time we went into a decrepit house before that, I did die.
Yes, we
But
do.
there's also the
I don't
Oh,
have a
yes.
good track record.
Remember when
Are you a
Arya
ghost?
tried to kill us in a decrepit house?
Yep, that also happened.
Kill you.
Wait, what? When
Well,
did this
when
happen?
did it look like you were going to kill us? Should I
What?
say?
Oh, was this when like this whirlwind went around her and she looked like a demon for a bit?
Yes. Yes.
Ah, yeah.
That deadly look she had
Dude
in
is
her
like,
eye.
what the fuck?
He's got the
What
biggest
the
smile.
fuck?
on
He's
his
having
face, like,
he's having that meme of the cat when it's flowers put on its head. He's just
If you're going to take our stories, we want a percentage of the profit, sir. We've got good shit here.
You could write a saga.
Tome.
You could play
We can
85
discuss
sessions of
those
D&D.
elements at a later date.
Mm-hmm.
I am in need of a drink though, sir, and I'm gonna start walking out of the church.
Before we leave, I go to Gaik. Do you want to see if there's actually like a circle next to the church, like there was last time? How are you set on the competition being the circle?
We do have a while before the competition starts. I think it would be good to have a look. I could have a fly around tomorrow and see if I can see anything nearby.
real quick. What's the lunar calendar been? Like, what state was the moon in last night?
First. It's the first month of the year.
No, but what was the moon? Was it full, crescent, half?
It would have been. Let me check the date. I think it would have been slightly waning towards full moon.
Okay. So Hayden can't demonstrate with his poppadom, damn.
No.
Yeah,
Can
I was just thinking
Thinking the
there's
same
just
thing.
suddenly like a giant
Poppadom,
poppadom
yeah.
appears at the bottom of the
What
screen.
the moon
Good
look
thing you
like.
didn't say
Hey.
crescent moon. I was going to be like, Hayden, you eat that shit right now.
A man's got to eat, okay?
These orcs know how.
Ewan, can we make it canon that Val-Aeria has its own kind of astrology with the houses of the moon?
Oh my god.
Are we going to make
my
our
God.
And with
Is
that,
Aaron-
we'll
is-
end the session there. Thank you very much for joining us. We'll see you next week.
Congratulations,
Bye.
Maya. You broke the
I'm sorry.
we can
Campaign
do
wrap.
this. Only
If you
Eredal
want to make
is
the
an
astrology,
bitch.
you can make the fucking astrology,
Well,
Maya.
I mean, I've got the constellations
oh.
here.
Anyway.
And imagine Eredal going to random people. So what house are you?
What
God.
star sign were you born under? Ink.
Oh,
You're a
yeah.
slut. Cool.
Jesus.
Anyway, no.
Oh,
So
fucking-
yesterday evening was a new moon. So does that mean? Okay, I'm trying to think. What?
yes, last night was waning. It would have been waning.
And in 9 days, would I be able to guess what state the moon will be in by then?
It will be probably about full.
Or-
Hey. It's full moon in the 8th house.
It can't be a
Oh,
coincidence
in the
that there's
first
full
The
moon
first.
on the day that the
On the
competition is happening.
moon.
Drink?
So we getting drunk or?
Yes, let's go, let's go, let's go.
It's getting
pissed.
dark.
Why do you always use the word "we"?
Yes, I agree with this sentiment. Can say.
For a very
Storm,
disagreeable
I find it
Storm, but
great
You
shame.
literally got addicted to drugs.
Well, yeah, there
It
is
wasn't,
that.
it wasn't drugs. I
You
thought
did.
I thought it was tobacco.
Which is still a drug.
Still not really better.
It helps me think, okay?
Sure.
Able to do a lot of things.
Who needs lungs? I'm kidding.
Who needs lungs when you got
Speaking of which, who needs the liver? Let's go get drunk.
Yes.
Oh, we're about to be cancelled by the
Yes,
tobacco
we are.
industry.
Oh,
Yeah.
there's worse people to be cancelled by.
God. And here I was working on
walking
a
out.
Marlboro sponsorship.
Yeah.
God damn it. Alright, so what are you guys doing? Heading out of the church now?
Yes.
Yeah. I'll kind of like, as everyone else is heading out, I'm just going to give it one last look around as I walk out. Nothing special, just a glance.
Okay, as you take that last look, the overgrown church in front of you, there's a weird sense of success that you feel, but like, in as much as you're here. But there is that slight emptiness of curiosity of what it means, and a disappointment as you head out of the church. Now that you've you've already cut a way through. I'm going to say it's not going to take you as long as you trek your way through the foliage once again, and eventually come out of the thick brush, the buildings, tents, etc. of the stronghold ahead of you again. And with that, you're planning on going to where exactly? As the sun is lowered in the sky, it's not quite sunset yet. It's probably going to set in the next half an hour. But the sky is getting that orangey colour to it. And it's getting colder.
I guess we're going to gorge on grog, right?
Yeah, boy.
Alright.
I guess they don't have a library here.
Why
I
the
would
fuck
assume
would they
not.
have a library, Storm?
I thought we were coming to a druid grove. I thought they'd have libraries.
Some druid grove.
I've not seen a library myself since I've been here. I've been here about a day, and I've not seen one.
Been here a day.
You've
and
been
you've
here a
already
day, yeah.
just found yourself in that situation. How short was it? Jesus Christ.
How short was what?
Wrong.
You're wrong.
If you've been here a day.
Orc fucking.
Waste
Yes.
time.
Well, that was an event.
What about the castle there? I'm gonna point at Valor Castle. Ever been in there?
No. It's fairly well guarded, as far as I can tell.
Yes,
I hear the butcher's in there, though.
that
That's
makes
what he's
sense.
saying.
I did go close to it, and there were hobgoblins where they were threatening to shoot me.
How come he gets to go in there?
Well, I believe he's the sponsor.
Ah.
I remember hearing this. He's not running the competition. He's just funding it, right? Correct?
I'm not too sure on that. I know that he's here, and I've heard from a few people that one of the rewards of victorship is the chance to take on some employment from him, to be part of whatever he's got going on.
But we do get the money, right?
Oh, the reward? Well, I assume so, yes.
Hold on. I just had a thought. This could be useful actually.
Mm.
You going to share?
Employment or support or fealty from the butcher. It's quite a.
What was that? Yeah.
What was that?
It was a goblin.
It's so loud.
I am surprised, Storm, that you are willing to pair with such a person, though.
I'm not talking about pairing with him. I'm talking about if we're going to, make allies with a certain somebody. Well, we need allies across the coast for when the time comes.
So you're saying make him join a part of Restless Coast against the Voivodians and if it's...
It's in their best. Well, maybe if we tell them, they might take it as an opportunity. We need to meet them first.
We could just warn them of the danger.
See how they react.
Yeah.
I mean, to be fair though, to rock up to like David's and say we got the clanlands on side would be a
And we don't
massive
have to tell them.
Might also not like it. I don't know how they feel about people without a house.
Meh. Too early to think about
I
it, I
should
say.
ask. You can see he was. Leonardus was deep in his notes that he'd previously been taking, completely ignoring the conversation you just had, and chirps in. So whereabouts are you find people making camp tonight? Are you indeed staying in that old church building, or
I think
a little closer to home?
Just do it next to the brush.
I have no qualms about staying in the church. However, it does make me a little uneasy.
I'm fine with staying in the church. I could see if I could find something else.
It's quiet. It means if we make any enemies, we can retreat somewhere quiet.
that's what I mean. It's secluded.
I think I rested my eyes for 15 minutes in the abyss. I don't think sleeping in a place like that should do me any harm.
I don't know what that means, but it doesn't sound good.
Oh boy, do we have a story for you. I kind of gestured to me
I
and-
think you may have several. I've taken some notes, actually.
Yeah.
And he pulls out
Yes,
his
I can
book.
see the first 5 pages of this
Make
film.
me-
Whispering to himself.
Making sure he hears, I just whisper to Arya, like, whisper, Jesus Christ, imagine when he finds out about the dragon.
Oh my gosh, yes. Terrible.
A drink! Let's
Yes.
go and let's loosen those lips, shall we? And you see him walk off ahead of you. Come on! And he's walking through the tents.
You heard the man. Let's go.
Okay. So with that, you begin to follow him, heading in the direction of the Gorge on Grog. And before you arrive, we'll take our break. Hello and welcome back. I hope you enjoyed those messages.
As much as we did.
I'm glad
We had
that
a
we
great time.
finally got around to getting that up there. That was good. Thank you, Dice and Andy, for the raid as well, and all the wonderful, lovely people that have joined us for our second half. So, where we left off, you guys had previously gone to the church after arriving at the Stronghold of Valour. Did a bit of investigating there and found it in a overgrown and decrepit state, with a number of seemingly druidic skeletons within. You left there, and now as eve presses on, the sky orange, the strange man that you had encountered about half an hour after arriving guides you towards the Gorge on Grog for an evening drink.
Laughter, drama, and drink.
So, as you follow, you find yourselves weaving through a number of camps and buildings, until eventually, curving round the side of one hut-like building, you see a very large building. It appears to be, other than the main arena and castle, it's one of the larger ones that you've seen thus far. In front of it, connected to this building, you can see a canvas tent that appears to be appears to cover the front portion of this building, almost like a. I'm trying to think of the right word here. Like, on a caravan, you might have a tent, or like a gazebo almost that connects to the tent. That is what this looks like, but it's got material on all sides, effectively covering the whole thing. But it appears to be attached to the side of this large building with two quite big. They look like barrels, but they must be some kind of storage containers, like silos perhaps, that are attached to the back of this larger structure. But wasting no time, Leonardus continues to walk to the front where you see people moving in and out to flaps that lead into the interior. Do you follow in?
Following in, yeah.
Yeah.
Alright. So, as you do so, as you step through the flap into the interior, you can see that the walls appear to be supported by 4 corner posts and 2 central ones, around which is a stone hearth. The floor is mostly made up of wooden planks and makes a fairly measly flooring as mud and dirt spills over them, and they're fairly splintered and worn. Along the wall that connects the tent structure to the building itself, you can see a long shutter is open, revealing a bar built into the external wall of the building. Throughout the interior, you can see simple round tables and stools spread across, skipping only the back left corner, which rests up against the wall of the building as well, where a slightly raised stage gives space to several humanoids playing instruments at the back. The whole thing screams of like a temporary setup that appears to have become permanent. The best way to describe it is it looks like a festival tent. But people are sitting around drinking, of different races, different faces. It's a fairly crowded interior. But there are a few spare tables.
So you say there's a stone hearth? Would you say
Right in the
stone?
right in the middle. You're pushing it.
85
Bring
sessions.
that green dragon in. Just dump that green dragon on us. I'm ready.
Please take me and
We deserve it at this point. I'm gonna go sit down at the empty table.
Alright. You go and find yourself a free table with a fair amount of stools around it. I'm going to say you're probably not going to get there very close to the hearth. It's more of the outer area where there are free tables, but you can find one all the same. Get a bit of a drafty chill as the bottom of the tent flaps open a little bit every so often, cold air breezes underneath, but quickly warms up.
So,
Find your table.
Leonidas. Leonardus.
Yes, sorry.
About that drink.
Of course, yes, I will, what's your tipple?
I will have an ale.
No, okay.
What's the strongest one you can get? I'll get that.
I will ask for the strongest. Spirit, ale, mead, any preference of drink or just the strongest thing?
Sure. If they have any demons,
Just the strongest thing then.
I'll take that.
Demons,
Lord,
demon's tongue. A woman of taste, I see.
You know it.
Okay, and the rest of you?
I'm feeling fancy tonight. I'll have some milk and honey.
Damn.
I would rather not get stabbed. Anything that might add a little fur to you, perhaps?
A little what?
A little fur. It's a joke, because you've got lots of fur on you, and there's a saying of put some hair on your chest by
Yeah.
honey and milk it is. Anyone else?
I'll have an ale.
Anyone? So, 1 ale, 2 ales, demon's tongue, strongest, milk and honey, and you, mysterious masked man. I see you don't want to drink. That's fine.
Is he asleep behind the mask?
Did you not hear me?
No, it's
Oh, there he is.
You just went,
just
literally
nodded
just
off.
sighed and went.
It's,
He literally went. I'm fine.
did not hear you.
Dear me. Very well, I shall be back shortly with drinks.
You know
and you
what?
see him wander off towards the...
You know, that's part of the reason I'm happy you guys know now, because quite frankly, it gets irritating every time someone asks me if I want to drink or eat something.
So you don't drink or eat at all?
Have you ever seen me drink or eat?
Well, I've seen you put things to your mouth area. I just
Have you?
assumed it was like... I don't know.
You've seen the crunchy hand trick.
Yes, can't you absorb it? Just get flavored or...
There is no...
Flavored. Love it.
What would a flying potion even taste like? Never mind. No, there's no flavor
Whoa.
to it.
Because that's one thing I would miss. I'd miss cinnamon. I couldn't.
I
Eat
love
or drink.
cinnamon. It's a great spice.
What the fuck is cinnamon?
I have no idea.
Oh my gosh. You have never
You don't
tasted
know what
cinnamon?
is.
What is it?
I don't know.
One of the most beautiful things ever created.
Better than wine?
Exactly. Most beautiful thing ever created.
On par in my eyes.
This makes me not look forward to dinner at Aradel's. I like dinner at
I
Ariel's.
will have you know that Drakenloft cuisine is some of the finest.
What does it consist of then?
Meat.
Is it seasoned at least?
And
We do have salt. Give you that. And vegetables too. Vegetables.
You're really selling it. I cannot wait.
Don't worry. When we visit, I'll cook.
Yes, might be a good idea.
That is such a good idea, Gayak.
It's a hearty meal. It fills
Why
you
did
up.
you
It
say
powers
that with
you.
a?
Ready
There was a quiver in your voice. You've never
Because-
rejected my food before.
I have
I've cooked
never
Twice.
rejected it.
It's like my eyes just narrowed.
I am messing with you, please.
It's I never liked your spinach puffs. Never.
oh, I miss sake.
Kisake.
What's sake?
Sake.
Is it an egg? Sucky.
No.
What is it?
It's a drink. It's I guess it's the closest equivalent here would be wine, but we make it from rice.
Interesting. Well,
Tastes like rice.
Oh no, way stronger.
I want to try some.
as soon as we fix you up, we'll have a bottle of rice waiting for you.
The biggest bottle we can find.
You'll drink like for however many long you've had that thing on for.
Wait, what if we take it off and all the effects of not eating and drinking suddenly catch up on him?
Oh,
Let's not think about that.
yes.
Think
Yeah,
about
I
that.
don't think about that.
What if he's ageless? What if you could have had that on for a long time, and we not know. You could be hundreds of years old.
As far as I know, I haven't. Yeah, I haven't got any gray, but I'm pretty sure my beard's still growing under here. I feel an itch every now and then.
It's
Have a
going to be
beard.
so sticky and sweaty.
Probably. It's been under there for a couple of years now.
Ew. No offense. But ew.
I say we all make our own story about how Kensei got the mask.
Oh, this should be good.
Oh boy.
I have a theory. Kensei is a master of the sword, and a begrudging enemy pinned him down one day, cursed him with the mask. Could see it being an epic tale, a battle, nemesis against nemesis.
I don't know why you're looking at me. I can't confirm or deny any of it.
Just
Maybe
a theory.
you switch your body differently, or like.
Like, I literally cannot respond in any way to it if you're suggesting.
Would be very good at the staring contest.
I personally think that he took it on as a form of protecting someone else, or he agreed to it, maybe. But couldn't take it off.
Well, any other theories?
Didn't you say something to someone, or did you just tell that to someone?
I think
Nice.
Didn't you? Did you? Because you two were on watch, right? So only Storm knows about Miyamoto.
no, I thought everyone knew. But
Yeah, well, I mean, we tried the Circle of Truth with Zone of Truth. Sorry, with Alistair. So Alistair
Yeah,
definitely.
you said a name.
Whether Alistair has told anyone else is up to him because he's the
Well,
only one who could. He's the only one who could tell anyone else.
Alice has been silent for the entire journey.
Okay, so we don't.
I forgot about that. Yeah.
So
It's
that's, no,
all-
but that's fine because it means we don't know about him then.
and that's also is that a different name? This is probably out of character as well, but he mentioned it. But about the sheath, the sword sheath. Wasn't there a name? You knew who that belonged to. I can't remember. I should take a notes.
Storm, you're staring at my cords. What is it?
Well,
Storm, you've been staring at my swords. What are you doing?
Oh, I remember there was that moment where was it in Deep Bay you found that sheath? Didn't it belong to someone you knew? You bought it off the.
I did promise to try and tell Val-Aeria about that. I think it kind of slipped our minds with us almost being arrested. Yes. I would have had the empty scabbard just literally as part of my sheathed alongside my swords, even if it doesn't have an actual sword in it. And I'll just pull it out and kind of like gently place it in front of them so they can read the name on it.
Paid a pretty penny for that, didn't you?
Oh, actually, this is a good point. Is the name written in Shitogo or is it written in Trader's Tongue?
It'll be in Chicago.
Oh, of course, they wouldn't be able to read it.
Nope.
I guess you can't read it either.
No, I can read it. This is the language of my country.
Well, can you read it, but can you say it?
Well, you're allowed to read it.
I will try to read it.
Roll me a wisdom save.
Oh,
Maybe this one time.
Yeah, you can read it. I will.
Can I just read the name though?
Hold on. I got a message in this because I can't.
Okay, no, fair enough.
Hold on.
I feel like this is like a monthly thing where we try and get information out of Kensei and he gets hurt and then we don't try for a bit.
we've had a lot recently, I think. Well,
For those that are unaware, Kensei wears a mask, and there is some sort of thing that will not allow him to take it off or say
It's
certain things.
abjuration magic. That we have.
Ryoto Doryu. My old master.
oh, master. Could you write that in the chat, please?
Isn't that your clan?
Yes.
Ryoto.
I don't know.
Oh, sorry everyone! And you see Bernardus back out waddling over to the table, doing the classic British three pint hold, as he like slams them onto the table, and a bit of one of the ale spills onto the scabbard. Ah, sorry there. Yes, well, so, I forgot what you ordered. He looks at you, Dyak. So I got you an ale.
Perfect.
I hope
Fine.
that's alright.
That is perfectly fine.
This, the bartender highly recommended this. This is, what was it called? Goblin Grog.
Grog.
Says there might be a little bit at the back of the throat, just to swallow it.
And that's the ale.
Yes, these. And he kind of slides them across onto the table.
It's alright, guys. Used to that.
You wanted the
God
strongest.
fucking
Was that
damn
out
it.
loud?
Yeah.
Waiting for someone to say something.
Yep.
Wait,
What
what?
did he say?
What?
When you
Mayor's
said
head is in the
it's-
gutter.
when you said it's in the back of the throat, just swallow it. I went, it's fine, guys. Used to that.
He probably is. His mama probably fed him by, regurgitating.
Oh,
Yeah.
God.
I mean,
So, you wanted the strongest, and you wanted a demon's tongue, correct?
Yes, please.
That
I
is
would
correct.
love the demon's tongue.
Excellent. Well, instead of getting the glasses, I thought I'd just buy the bottle. And
Oh.
slams the bottle down
Nice.
onto the table.
Oh,
Nice.
fuck yes.
And puts down a bunch of glasses. Well, and he turns to you, Storm. First of all, he spat in my face. And I can't tell you that he won't spit in your drink, so I'm about to go and get it. So if there's anything like floating at the top, like bubbly, he probably spat in it. So I'll be back in a second.
Oh.
Because I think he's
He
missed
turns
a
and
bit around the
walks over.
face. Hang on.
Did you get a bottle of the strongest, did you say?
He got a bottle of Demon's Whisper.
Demon's tongue.
Which what did I say?
Demon's Whisper.
Demon's Whisper sounds
Demon's
bad.
Tongue.
That's
Demon's
so
Tongue.
bad.
Yes.
That's what I was thinking of. That's exactly what I was thinking of. In and out like a
Demon's
Demon's
Whisper.
Whisper.
Yeah.
Whisper in my fucking ear.
What is that from again? Is it?
It's from Sunny.
I
Oh,
can
you
do
know
it.
that
Yeah.
like a Demon's Whisper.
I love that line.
Yes, Demon's Tongue, which is like a long bottle with a very dark brown liquid in it, because it is a whiskey, and a bunch of tumblers on the table. And shortly thereafter, he comes back with a wooden flagon with a frothy milk in there, and you can see like a swirl of gold on the top. There you go. If that will do well.
Let's sample this. Take a drink. Let's go get it.
Storm, have you told us why you don't drink?
I think I may have done. I just prefer my mind not be somebody else's.
That's the best part, as he slams back a single tumbler already.
Good stuff, right?
Yes! So fine.
Somebody needs to be sober when something comes through the roof or through the door.
Fair.
Yeah, what are the chances of that, eh?
Dyak, you
Roll
have
for
an ale.
initiative.
You have an ale too, yes?
yes.
Should we have a drinking contest?
Oh, here we go. Here we go.
He pushes his like chair out with it.
There we
Oh,
go.
yeah, sorry, wrong one.
You can't say attack.
Can't
I
take
did
it.
offer you a drink!
I'm tired of watching you all drink in front of me.
Greg.
Just snap, he's gone. He's off the rails.
Hey, he just needed that excuse.
Snap, and the bar is gone.
So, yeah, drinking
yeah, I
contest.
pushed my chair back, stand up, and I got the flagon in my hand ready to go.
I'm gonna cheers him.
Apple
Go.
Roll Constitution.
We like to drink with the one kayak.
Actually, it'll be a check. It'll be a Constitution check.
Oh shit, I rolled my save.
Because you're
Oh.
actively trying to work
Can
against
I,
the alcohol.
any chance I can guidance it?
No.
Okay.
Oh,
oh.
You love
just
it.
about, like, both of you, like, gag soon as the ale hits the back of your throat, you feel like a tickle of bits that is inside this drink. And immediately you wonder what the fuck that might be, and you actually regurgitate a little bit of it back into the mug, but you realise you have to finish it, and you swallow it down. The rest of you can see like this trailing, like it's almost, you'd almost say it was a black liquid, but it is just a very, very dark brown as it trails down their chins as they try to chug this whole thing, and like you just get there first, and it's not pleasant though. It's like pouring down your beak. Both of you by the end have little pieces of black dots around your mouth and beak.
It's like the last of the locust soup where all the legs and bits sink to.
I think I need a shot of demon's tongue.
Stop it! Stop it!
I am gonna.
Or you can do it yourself because you're a strong, independent woman and you don't need no man.
Woman. I don't need no woman doing things for me.
How did this evolve to drinking again?
Since
I swear to God, you guys drink more in a tavern than you kill monsters. That's D&D, ladies and gents.
I'm gonna turn to Alistair. Since I won, you owe me a forfeit.
Oh, we playing theirs?
I accept your challenge.
Okay, sit very still, hands by your side, and you have to stay that way for at least 2 minutes, no matter what happens. Deal?
Seems simple enough. Deal.
Okay, and begin. And as soon as I say that, I'm going to take a beetle out of my pouch and place it on her forehead.
Nice.
It begins to crawl across your forehead.
I'm just going to watch.
Gaiak, when these 2 minutes are up, I hope you know what's coming for you.
I thought we agreed on no moving.
When the 2 minutes were up, she says.
She's moving her lips.
I'm just watching very closely as like the beetle crawls around.
You see Leonardus is like sat or leaning over the table looking at this between the two of you. Is this like a... Is this sort of like meeting ritual thing?
Yes,
at the end,
yes,
he
it
will get
is.
stabbed with something.
The daggers pointed at Gaiak now move to Leonardus.
That's the question.
It's how they communicate. It's very, very, but you know, it's how, yeah, it's their thing.
I think it's healthier this way.
Yes, yes.
I see. I think we'll circle back to that one later.
The origin story of bird person. From Rick and
They are
Morty.
in the zone now.
I am bird person.
The 2 minutes up.
No, I think you can sit there.
By the way,
for long.
during the, did you say
Yeah,
you had
I think the
psionic
2 minutes-
daggers?
What?
No,
you say
she
you had-
daggers with her eyes.
Oh, I was gonna say, I was like, where the fuck they come from?
Before the 2 minutes up.
Dagger vision.
It would just be like, yeah, let's just replay that night, just in a tavern.
Before the 2 minutes are up, I wanna under the table cast Mage Hands. Stealthily.
Roll me a sleight of hand check.
Oh no.
It's got verbal components, by the way.
Oh, could I? So
To be fair, I am staring daggers at
Yeah,
Gaiak. So
and I want
depending on where Storm
Yeah, but
is.
this is everyone.
drink my milk and honey while I do the verbal components.
Sure, go on. Anyone who has got a high
I have a
passive perception.
19 passive perception.
Yeah, so you definitely see him like you see Storm make a gesture with his hand, probably on his blade. That he's definitely casting something.
Mine's 15. Do I see it here?
I'm gonna let the chaos
Yes.
unfold.
And I'm gonna move the mage hands so it goes and tickles her leg.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
I genuinely don't know how
Alsheen would react to this. Genuinely
Oh,
don't
it
know.
must really hurt. You're at our mercy for once.
The 2 minutes are up.
Grab the beetle.
As soon as the 2 minutes are up, I just like slide my chair back away from the table.
I'm getting ready to dodge just
And
in
then
case,
sees
but also
this and
staring
immediately
as
like
well.
takes the bottle and his tumbler off the table
Yep.
and scoots it
It's
back.
smart idea.
You take the beetle off and throw it onto the table.
Yep. You smack the
It
beetle
kind of
down.
like hits, but like it's a beetle. It like just flicks off and continues to crawl on the table.
No, not going to say what I was going to. It's highly inappropriate. Never mind.
Now that wasn't so hard, was it? Just turn around, and I guess I've drunk my drink now, so I can't. But
Gaiak, you wonder why I have trust issues.
trust issues. I laid out the rules, and
It was a good forfeit. I will give you that. Storm, on the other hand,
What?
what did you do?
I don't do anything. I don't know what you're about.
Do you think I'm fucking blind?
Blind to what? No idea.
I saw you tickling your blade. I know exactly.
Okay.
Now, I have not done that. In a long time.
Particularly.
I'm chased.
You fucking liar.
Not seen me tickling my blade.
Okay, you don't know what? No one's tickling anyone's blades. Unless
Not
it's me.
yet. Excuse me.
What? I didn't say anything.
Did you know anything more about this? About any more of the competition? You mentioned that there are people casting spells too. Do you know anything
Oh.
about them?
Yes, I would like to know about this.
Oh, is that
What?
to me?
Do you? Yes.
Places the bottle and the tumbler back on the table. Scoots his chair in nervously. Sure. What would you like to know?
What, any kind of, of any prolific spellcasters in this competition? Anyone we should be wary of?
Prolific? Not as far as I'm aware. Like I said, I'm not sure on the competitors.
We'll have to find out from somebody.
Oh,
But they tend to keep it under rather tight lock and key. But it's always worth a shot if you're keen to that. I'm not sure if they disqualify, but
Perhaps
Better
when
to
I've
find
got
out.
a few more drinks in me, that might be an option. And with
to
that,
what, sorry.
she's gonna take another shot of Demon's Tongue.
Well, I can get behind that. Stronger stuff, that is.
So 9 days then.
could get a lot done
Yes,
in
the
9 days.
competition starts in 9 days.
What to do for 9 days?
Well, I was going to read, but I don't think there's any places to read here.
Do you not keep a book with you at all times, stored in your furs somewhere?
Ah, yes, my many compartments amongst my furs.
Maybe under your armpit. I would expect you to produce a shelf of books.
I have one book. I need more.
since we do have so much time, maybe Alistrene's training idea isn't such a bad idea.
Thank you, Gaiak. And I'm gonna look at everybody around the table like, yeah, fucking told you so. Leonardus, what can you do? You don't look like much of a fighter to me.
Well, I tell tales, I play instruments.
I am gonna make sure that Storm does not say anything about its fucking ocarina. And I'm gonna say, what instruments do you play before Storm gets the chance?
I trained in a lute and the flute at the Merck College in Balloon.
Maybe we should do a duet. You and I. I am a musician myself.
Oh my god.
Oh yes, 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 yes.
Yes, I want to see this. I want to see this.
I would be honoured to see your skill.
Ah, well, here we go, and I reach into my bag.
I am
Wow.
just forewarning you that you've already been spat on once, Leonardus, and it might happen again.
Now, they haven't heard, he hasn't heard, and the rest of the people under this tent have not heard of this magic that comes from this instrument. It's beautiful.
And we have.
I've received quite a few pennies. Take out
Please go ahead.
the ocarina, and here we are, and I give them a little song.
Okay, roll a performance check.
Called Sands in the Wind.
Where?
Load.
Something.
Is it descending?
On.
Tension is killing us.
Here we
Oh,
go.
attention.
Oh, miss.
You play most of the notes for Sands in the Wind. Quite a few that's off. You can see him starts out quite, into it, and then you start playing.
That's so fun.
Is that the end?
That's just the chorus. That's just the chorus.
I think I've had enough of your of the ocarina to know its majesty, of course.
Where are you from?
Where am I from?
Yes.
I was originally born in Bellinor, but I studied in Valour for a few years. In the capital, actually. It's a little difficult to navigate, I will say, but
How so?
nice. Well, it's all canals and boats to get from here to there. It's so annoying,
You ever been, Ari?
but rather beautiful.
I was there for but a moment. And then we got kidnapped and taken to a fighting pit.
You're from Mulum. I should have known from the accent.
Yes. I am indeed from Verlum.
And whereabouts?
Ravenwood.
Oh, in the north.
Mm-hmm.
I've heard tales of Ravenwood. I hear it's mystical forests and interesting things. Good wine.
Mystical forest.
Yes. That's what people say, anyway.
What do people say about the forest?
Just that it's really not quite owned, but can't really think of the word. Under the protection, perhaps, of the Ravenwood family.
Oh yes.
Never been myself, but I'm sure one day.
A good time. You know how to party.
Yes,
You could say that.
I've heard. Maybe one day I'll convince one of the Ravenwoods to allow me in.
Well, I'm sure if you are as charming as you are with us, as you are with the Ravenwoods, the new head will definitely let you in.
Oh, I was not aware that they had a new head.
Yes, it's very, very recent development.
What's their name again, Arya?
I do believe it is Tobias. Tobias Ravenwood. He is
Tobias.
in power now.
Yes, yes. What's he like?
I've not heard him.
Does he have any siblings?
Fucking asshole, if you ask me. Never like.
Careful what you say.
Oh, I
You never
know.
know who's listening.
So well, I like to live on the edge.
How rude of me, though, I suppose. Where are the rest of you from?
Please do tell us where the rest of you are from.
From David. If you wanted to know.
Oh, fascinating.
I am from the June Lands.
I don't believe I've ever heard of such a place.
Far to the east. Away from the Restless Coast.
I'm from the Pearl Isles.
Oh, I hear that's a point of contention for many.
Sorry?
I
A point of contention?
To
The Civil War and like.
Civil War's been over for years. What are you talking about?
Well, I suppose, but not in the minds of folk here. Well, those that fled, I suppose. Met a few Pelesians in my time.
I suppose, yes. So, hold on to the old ways, I guess.
He takes an awkward sip of the drink.
Anyway,
He's about to drop some bombs on me.
Jack didn't tell where he was from.
Huh?
You didn't say where you're from, Gaia.
Ah, sorry. I am from the mountains in the north of Moonvale, to the east.
The name rings a bell.
Away from the Restless Coast, similar to Storm.
Drakenloft for me.
Oh, you're from Drakenloft.
Mm.
Seldom find many folk from there here.
No, I suppose not.
Is it as glorious as I'm told?
Pardon?
Is it as glorious as I'm told?
Oh, of course. Beautiful. Mountains, lakes, fjords.
Ice.
Yes. Snow. Very cold. It's brilliant.
Perhaps one day I'll see that as well. I seek to find all the corners of this land, see what stories there are to tell.
Well, might find them sooner than you'd like.
Sorry, what was that?
Oh, nothing.
You're all from such different places. How did you all meet? I take it you didn't meet in a tavern.
Well, I met these folk fighting trolls, was it?
Oh yeah.
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 Yeah, I believe so.
Yeah.
I met Storm and Aria in the Abyss.
I'm still not sure what that is, but it does not sound like a good place.
It's not.
Yeah.
Oh, it's very far
Lovely
from
place.
the place.
Very dark, not a whole lot going there.
It's very hot as well.
It's like hell.
And if you're not a fan of going around in circles, going through rooms that look the same, end, it's not fun.
Sounds like a nightmare to me. One moment, actually, I should be writing this down.
Are you a storyteller of some kind? Or an academic?
No, no academic, no scholar here. I find scholarly works are so bland and boring. I'm an embellisher. I tell the narratives of countless stories. Ish.
So you're saying you don't give the complete truth?
Well, every story could use a dragon.
I actually am in agreement with you on that one. Dragons make everything so much cooler.
Unless one of us falls into a vat of acid.
Yeah, you just see Gygax shuddering.
That I want to come back to. That sounds interesting.
Yes, it's.
I mean, if you are interested in dragons, you might want to check out Harwick.
Yes.
I've assumed they were rumors.
Why not?
So you're saying that dragons are real?
Yes, very
Have you
real.
seen one?
Yes.
Now, I think I found where I would like to start.
Would you call what we encountered a dragon? It's like more of a mutant.
Storm, come on, it's a dragon.
What?
But this very nice person here wants to hear stories, and it's a dragon.
We start from where we burnt the city down, or after we burnt the city down?
Or do we go through, we got there because we tried to break someone out of prison?
Yes.
Wow, we are just letting everything loose, huh?
Remember, we are speaking to an embellisher.
He is a very nice embellisher. He's a very, very nice man.
Do you remember the part where Sylvanas himself came down and told us all to do it?
Mr. Embellisher, sir, you're not a demon, are you?
Now, why would that matter, Alistair? Don't be
It's
so
just-
rude.
I don't think so.
Every city we've been to, there seems to be some kind of demon there. I just want to make sure he's not the one.
I definitely have been called a fiend before. Does that count?
By an orc sister.
No, she was screaming something much different.
Much more profane, I can imagine.
Yes.
Is it in yet?
My stories aren't so interesting. Yours, however.
One moment, please. Is she in the competition?
I am not sure.
No, you could have led with the fact that we're trying to, save their coast from impending doom. That would be a good thing.
Now that sounds like an excellent through line to add on these other stories. Let's put that on.
At the moment, all you've said is we've burnt the city down and broke someone out of prison.
All for good reason.
You're gonna add the parts that we're doing against the 44teens or the elephants?
Insight check
We
this
have
guy.
far too much going
Roll
on in our
insight
lives
check.
right now.
My insight's shit, but I just want to see if, he seems like he's genuinely interested, or maybe he might be interested for a reason. You know what I mean?
He's a nice person.
Oh, I think we've fucked it. We've told him everything.
Never mind. He seems like a lovely lad.
He's the white bird.
He just seems like someone who's very interested in stories, and you have got probably some of the most interesting ones to tell.
Well, we can regale it, and whoever wants to tell it, the whole while, I'm gonna shape some water and basically create little moving snow sculptures that animate the whole thing.
Little diorama.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say
Nice.
that because Alistrina's had an ale and probably about 3 shots by this point, she is going wild on these stories. She is like, okay, and then this happened, and it was fucking mental, right?
Kaya keeps correcting her when she says something that's just like completely not true.
I'd like to think at one point.
Exploded, and he's like, well.
And then I came in with a giant greatsword on my back.
And then there was a boar in a potion shop going crazy.
Oh, God.
Don't forget the part where Storm rode in on a unicorn. That's very important.
Oh yes, we can't forget that part. That was important.
Wait, when did that happen? When?
It happened right after the gore incident.
Oh. At one point, if there's a space next to him on the chair, I'd like at one point me to. You might regret. Major illusion. When we were talking about the illithid, major illusion, and the illithid sat next to him. Its tentacles brushed up against him. It would be in.
I mean, as you do that, he's definitely going to like scoot off and like fall onto the floor. The kind of quill falling off with him. Oh! What? What is that hideous thing?
That's what we're trying to stop.
Alistrine notices it and goes, "Oh shit, it's my uncle."
Excuse me, what?
Does not know your.
Oh god, that has some weight to it.
Your uncle? What?
What do you mean?
Huh?
Is this a Drakenloft Islands joke?
We don't have illithids in the Drakenloft Isles.
Oh.
What have you been drinking for,
What?
Alistrine? As in, how long in your life have you been drinking? When did you start drinking?
Might soon.
I believe 4 years old, maybe earlier.
You could have fooled me.
Hmm?
I said you could have fooled me.
Listen, the drinks in Drakenloft are incredibly strong, and for somebody from the Isles, I am incredibly small.
Right. Of course.
Take from that what you will. Blame my mother.
So these should be nothing to you. And yeah, look at you.
My immune system does not work that way.
Immune system.
Yes.
Ah.
I know what one
how
of
it
those is.
You know what? Wasted my time with my private education. I just needed to learn from you.
I have plenty of
Of
time
course.
to keep the immune system
Of
up close and just clean their throats.
Oh my god. I think this is actually the most wholesome moment we've had in forever.
Yeah.
During the course of the storytellings, he is going to have several more bottles brought over, which presumably will be powered through. And he's going to take note of all these stories that you decide to tell. And based on what you've told me and what you have elected to tell me you are not admitting, he's going to kind of be putting these notes together after he's been writing all this stuff. Very sad to hear of this Thrisk fellow you mentioned. Seems like a rather interesting individual. A boar in a potion shop.
He was very, very kooky, but he was part of our group.
I'm particularly fond of this passage here, where you talk about his fascination with snakes.
Oh no.
That's rather funny.
Oh gosh, I just look at Gaiac.
And now the whole world will know.
Yeah, Gaiac just nods and like wide-eyed just looks down to the table with his head on his hand, like we actually might be finding out.
You've been through quite a lot of things. I assume you're mercenaries or something to that like?
Nope.
We everything but we don't even make our mercenaries wage.
We're actually knights.
We are knights.
Oh, of course, yes. There was mention of that, but I just assumed that was a title. That seems to come along a fair few chapters into the story.
Oh, it was a long journey for that title, yes.
So what would you consider yourselves?
Heroes!
Thugs.
A group of individuals who are always in the wrong place at the wrong time.
That's a good one.
That does sound rather... The facts speak for themselves, really. And what do you call yourselves?
Fera Carta!
Fera Carta.
What's that mean,
Is that...
Aria?
It's Val-Aeria, isn't it?
Yes, it means it's a rough translation, very rough translation, but it basically means the wild cards.
Yes, I recall.
Yes.
I recall. Wow. It suits the story.
Suits us.
Perhaps not Storm with his milk and honey.
I mean, that's pretty wild.
I have my own fun.
I think there's a
in
few other
books.
ingredients in
Yes. I think it is just milk and honey.
Maybe a bit of spittle as well. Very nice.
Is there bits at the bottom of that as well? Because there's been bits at the bottom of everything I've drunk here.
Yes, you get used to that. It's a little, I suppose, like protein. That's the taste.
A protein shake, you say?
Protein shake.
What's that? So we can't have fucking straws, but we can have protein shakes.
What is it we do with these days now? Train
I
is a
say
bit-
we fight each other. I love that idea.
Like all together or like in rounds? Like
Both.
a tournament type.
So you want to have like practice rounds?
It might be fun
With
to
each
weigh
other?
ourselves up against individuals with different skills.
I have a question.
Hmm?
Will clothes be coming off?
Only if it's you and me, darling.
I mean, that's cool, but it's kind of being with all of it, you know.
I don't hear that, and I give a very like wholesome answer of, well, I'm probably not going to wear my armor so I can fly.
Right, then, can I get the rest of us?
Well, if we're going to train, I can't exactly incinerate you softly. Am I going to be just using my?
Are you
blade?
really suggesting that we couldn't take you going full out Storm?
What you want me to hit you with the full power of the weave? Are you serious?
Absolutely, I do.
Yes, have you not you?
Have you not seen the ash
I
that
didn't know
I
how to form that sentence.
reduce
If
some
we
people?
have Alistair here, if
Yes,
we
but-
need him.
It's okay, Storm. Don't worry. You won't hit me
It's
with
good
it
to
anyway.
know I'm an object of revival.
Cuts and bruises are one thing from blades and arrows, but being blown to smithereens.
This is assuming that you could hit any of us, Storm.
Oh, I
That's
never
what I'm
miss.
She
saying.
said you can't aim.
I never miss.
You never miss, except when it's into a pile of rocks and causing a landslide.
Yes,
That
you
was
almost
on-
killed
that-
two of us.
That was on
Or
purpose.
when it was accidentally nearly killing yourself.
That didn't hit me. I missed on purpose there.
Exactly,
You hear
you
the flipping
missed.
of pages as he goes back to that passage.
He's moved on now. He's writing fan fiction.
All I'm saying is, Storm, that if we were to fight, Aria and I have some proficiency in dodging. Gaiak has his wings. Alistair has his ability to heal, and Kensei's a fucking supernatural being, so...
Boo. He's a boo.
I'm not saying I could beat you all. I mean, it's just if we're going to train, I don't want a wayward lightning bolt turning you into my next paperweight. It's just
Then hold back a little bit.
Make it interesting.
Paperweights? Can we back up to that for 1 second? Have you been using the bodies of the people you've killed as paperweights? I'm sorry, what?
I just mean sometimes they're reduced to ash, and that ash hardens over time. And I've not collected it.
You felt like you had to stop yourself there. Inside check.
I was young.
I've seen each and every single one of you fight. And I have to say, in each of your skills, wherever they lie, you are very good at fighting, so it would be an honor to kick every single one of your asses.
Sounds like a challenge.
I've got a roll there. I realised I do have to actually roll some.
You've only got to beat a 10.
It's so gross. Storm's just been drinking.
Yeah.
Fine.
I mean, my insight check failed, so I.
He's definitely telling the truth.
Just out of curiosity, when we were telling him, when we got to the point in our story about the illithid, can I just have a little quick scan of the room to see if anyone maybe took interest in that and then where he was dropping?
Check.
24.
Definitely, there were quite a few people that turned around when Storm made an illusion of an illithid at a table. Curious eyes, and that even when it dissipated, were kind of like watching on.
Lingering.
People might have listened in.
Well, we've certainly made ourselves known.
That's what we want. We want people to know us and to fear us.
Fear us? No. Know us? Respect us? Yes.
I don't
In
think
this
people...
competition.
Oh, it's...
Oh.
Yeah, maybe fear, yes.
Talking of the competition, I assume you've signed up at the arena.
Oh, what?
Oh, no.
We signed up with
a guy.
with a man.
Yes, we signed up in Deep Bay.
Oh, not here?
No.
Here, no.
No, that is curious. I believe you have to sign up at the arena.
Well, what are we waiting for? Why are we still here?
That's cool. Right now.
Yes.
It is currently midnight.
Oh,
Damn
shit.
it.
I'm not sure it will be open. I don't know. We could walk past, but
We can go check.
I'm not.
Go
I'm
Go
enjoying
for a
these
little
drinks.
late night stroll.
Or we could just go first thing in the morning. What's
A late night scrap.
Okay, Alistair, you need to calm down.
Yes, I am ready to have a little walk and maybe rest so I can kick all your asses tomorrow. As Alstream would say.
Fighting words.
Battle Royale! Battle Royale!
Oh boy, after.
Hey, I mean, that looks what it sounds like it's gonna be.
It does sound like that's what it might be.
Perfect excuse.
I think you
Am I gonna make a church map?
Hey, halfway Battle Royale. I'm good to go for a walk if someone wants to go for a walk.
Yeah, let's go.
Yeah.
If people want to stay, they can stay.
I'd come along.
Pick up all the bottles we haven't finished and walk along.
I'm going.
I guess we're all going.
Okay. You get up and leave the gorge on the rock. Whereabouts are you headed?
The arena. To see if it's open.
You made your way around the camps, and within 5 minutes or so, you come to that main road that encircles the arena, and are able to head around where those large doors are. They're closed.
Damn it.
You don't see any light coming from any of like the quote-unquote windows, which are more like arrow slits.
Can I not?
Of the building. You rap on the door. No response.
Hello.
You hear footsteps of like metallic armor, and around the corner you see a hobgoblin with its red leathery skin, holding a large glaive in one hand. Walks round, looks at you. The arena's closed.
Ah, shit.
I will come back tomorrow.
Yes.
Can we
And
see
it
you?
gives you a bit of a snarl.
Oh, he's feisty.
lead in.
Can we see into it, or is it like a closed off door?
It's like a big set of double.
Oh,
doors.
I was imagining something else. Yeah. Okay. Cool. Yeah, we should just go back to the church if we're not going to do anything else.
Yeah, we should go and set up camp.
Mate, what she said.
Okay. So you make your way back northward through the camp. It's quieter, as many of the citizens of this stronghold find themselves asleep. But you can see that numerous campfires that are around by the tents and the like. There are individuals sat around them. It's not completely empty, but eventually you head far enough north that you leave that area of the civility, quote unquote, of this stronghold and begin to head towards that brush again. Going through the area that you parted previously, which is still cut open enough to give you a reasonable enough amount of journeying through there. Though some of you are drunk. Luckily you don't have to navigate it quite as much as you did beforehand. But some of you do definitely stumble and catch a thorn, or you have to help someone out of the weeds.
I'm linking arms with Alistair just to keep her stable.
She's singing Drakenloft ballads.
They had a lot of King Olafs in Drakenloft too.
And with that you continue and eventually return to the church. Which won't stop playing. Yep, you head through those broken doors and back into the main chamber of the church. What would you like to do?
Set up camp.
Yeah.
Start a fire, get bedrolls out.
Do we want to do watches, or do we feel like we're safe enough in here?
I think we should probably do watches.
May I suggest that whoever's on watch does them by the entrance, just in case someone comes in?
It makes me uneasy, this church.
And you don't know who might have taken an interest in us.
Yeah.
Alright.
Is the
what watches are we doing?
is the guy, is he still with us?
Yeah, he's still going to be walking with you.
He's our friend.
It's our best mate.
Add him to
It's our
the party.
cheerleader.
I'm going to take the last one because Alistair needs a chance to sober up.
Gayak will want to take the first one, I think.
I'll take the middle one then.
Where I go.
I'll go with Gaia.
I'll take.
Can say.
Switch things. I'll take the last one as well.
Okay.
Oi, oi, besties!
So Monero and
Ria and Alistair.
Yeah.
Arina, sorry. Arina.
Is Zuko going with somebody?
Zuko's in it.
Yeah, I'll say that Zuko is wandering around on his own, and
Of course.
eventually kind of wanders back in. Oh! Hi everyone! I was looking around. It's so interesting.
Oh my gosh.
And sees the human bard. Oh, who are you? I'm I forgot his name. Leonardus.
Another.
Wait, Zuko's been wandering around the city. He just happens to wander through the brush into this church.
Look, he has trackers on us.
Maybe the white bird was just Zuko.
Yeah, maybe the white bird was Zuko.
Well, I just followed the singing. Really, I could hear from the other side.
My singing is
Sort of
beautiful.
Olaf's in your songs.
Olaf was a brilliant man.
He's gonna take his watch with the guy. So they'll do a watch at some point as well. But with that, you're able to set up some semblance of a camp in here. The smoke, luckily, because of the broken windows, is able to waft out through them. It is, you know, chilly. You want to probably huddle around that fire. But other than that, it's fairly safe. So, Gaiak and Kensa, you can take your first watch as the others find their rest. Is there anything you'd like to do with your watch?
Gaiak would definitely be looking for that white bird.
Alright.
And yeah, maybe, you know, coming out of the church, having a little look around, flying. Actually, I don't know if he could get above. Can he get above the brush? Probably not. But I'm gonna be keeping an eye out for that. Then I might do like a little fly over the top, see if I can maybe see if there's any other structures nearby that might have overgrown as well.
Sure. Roll a perception check. You fly out, begin to encircle at the top. You see a number of nighttime creatures. See some foxes and various birds nestled in the trees, and owls that are hunting in the night. But no white bird. And as you fly around, you're pretty confident you can't see any other structures. This church is probably the only one.
Okay.
But you're confident about that. You're not missing anything.
Cool.
During this, Kensei, is there anything you'd like to do?
Gaiak,
Yes.
I've noticed you've been doing a bit more of the meditation I taught you while you were on your own.
Oh, what was that? Sorry.
I noticed you've been doing a bit more of the meditation I taught you when you were on your own.
Yes, I've been trying to clear my head, make sense of things. But I'm struggling to keep focused. I'm not really sure what I'm looking for, if that makes sense.
Perhaps it might be good if I start teaching you a more advanced version of the technique.
I would like that, yes.
Yeah, sit down for a sec.
Okay, I'll sit down.
Clear your mind. Don't really focus on anything just yet.
I like close my eyes and start like trying to breathe, and you see him kind of like not necessarily like fidgeting, but you see he keeps like maybe opening his eyes for a second. He's not really too focused.
Good. Now, I want you to, now that you've got nothing going through your mind, try to imagine someplace. It could be anything. It's usually easier to imagine someplace from your past, childhood home or city you grew up in.
I think I've got it, yes.
Now construct that thing in your mind. Remember every blade of grass or the wood they used to build the house. Picture it.
I can see it, yes.
Well, I have a time for you to pop out. It's basically because I think the only person present for this last time was Storm, but I think you all would have heard it. He's basically trying to teach you the Mind Palace thing technique that he used a little while back.
Okay.
No.
Was this when?
This was after the episode after the vampire. Into the vampire. So empty your mind. Now we do this in the space. Now here's the hardest part. You have to block out everything going on in the outside world and think of yourself only as in this space. Even as I'm talking to you right now, frankly, if you can still hear me, you're not doing it very well.
I think this is where I have the trouble. Blocking everything out. There's so much going on and so much confusion and I can't seem to focus.
Hard to center yourself in a storm. Then picture the place in your life where you felt most at ease, most at peace. And picture yourself being back in that time. May take practice, but this is where we start.
He kind of sits there in silence for a little bit, and you see a little tear build up in the corner of his eye, as he's just sitting there, kind of like quiet, with his eyes closed, sitting down.
I'm gonna say, as you are sat there meditating, Kenzo's voice kind of fades a little. Not a lot, but enough where it's noticeable that it feels like he's growing slightly distant. And you just hear... and that's it.
Is it very obviously, like, I recognize the voice?
Yeah, it definitely sounds like a little Thrislar. Feels close. And as you open your eyes, the tears still kind of like there. You get this sense you're on the right track.
Yeah, Guy, like, he opens his eyes and he's like looking around a little bit frantically, and then just looks at you, Ken, and say, "Thank you," Ken say.
Oh, did you see something already?
I just feel, for the first time in a while, I feel like we're doing something right. I feel like yes, we're in the right place.
Good to know, I suppose. Good to know, I suppose. Good to know, I suppose.
Yeah, and I think Gaik is gonna like try and meditate a little bit more for the watch. Try and like find that focus. Maybe trying to grab onto kind of hearing that little mischievous lizard. But yeah.
Well, you meditate for the rest of your watch, and you don't hear that voice again. But there is a peacefulness in it, especially in where you're meditating within this Church of Sylvanas. Eventually, you realise it's time for you to take your rest and awake Arya and Alistair. two of you are awakened as Guy can say you find some slumber for the evening. Aria, Alistair, is there anything you would like to do with your watch?
Sorry, real quick, I muted myself back. Who's next on the watch list? Is it Alistair?
It is.
As I go to wake Alistair up, I just ask him real quickly. How soon will that thing be ready? We'll discuss.
It's at the end of the week, isn't it? Guess you talk about commune.
Cool. Is that what it's called?
Is it ready at the end of the week, the commune? Or is it
Yes, it is.
at the end of each month, isn't it?
Yeah, it's the last day of
So
every
at the end of the week.
Yeah. So you've got about 8 days.
Okay.
Right before the tournament.
Perhaps I'll save my questions to after. No, I'll go to bed. Go to beddy, boys.
So, Alistair, Aria, anything you want to do with your watch?
I've got nothing in particular.
Okay.
Just so we've covered all of our bases, I'm gonna make out of some water a little tiny, about this big, little figurine of Thrisk, and I'm gonna place it on that altar that we found earlier.
Explode.
And then I'm just gonna do that dance that he did, and just see if anything happens. Just wait for something to happen.
As it is funny to watch. So you're talking about the thrift dance, isn't that like this?
He just hung his arms. Yeah. Jay, if you'd be so kind.
The thrift dance.
He's gonna do it.
Yeah, do it.
Oh, he's gonna do it.
Wait, go move the chair.
Wait, go get that chair out of the way. Oh my god.
Make your watch
wait,
out
wait,
of the way, violently.
Go on.
Oh.
Get that dance going.
So we're like,
Yeah. I do that.
Oh, God.
Oh, amazing.
Right, just so you know, when we go back to your campaign, if all of the villagers don't do that dance after we save their lives,
Yeah.
Oh, amazing.
good idea.
After nothing happens and I don't have a spiritual awakening, I will just go back to my watch, and I too will keep an eye out for the white bird.
Okay.
Alistair's doing like a really serious look out, like, and he just sees at the corner of his eye.
Just behind the background, slightly out of focus.
Alistair's laughing his ass off at the fucking water Frisk doing that dance.
Oh my god, amazing. Well, with that, you do your watch.
Got to cover all our bases.
The bird does not appear again.
Okay.
And eventually, after an eventful watch, you feel the need to awake Eridan and Storm for theirs in the last watch. And with that, the two of you are awakened, and Aria and Alistair, you find some slumber. Is there anything you two would like to do with your watch?
Do I need to roll a perception check?
I'm not going to make you do that for that. It will just waste a bit of time.
Yeah.
And I'm going to let you know nothing is going to happen tonight.
You're pretty secluded anyway.
Yeah, it's I think Stormwood.
It's probably a very good choice in location. Did I consider you would take this place? Absolutely not. But probably a good decision.
Just vibe around the fire with this book.
What book is it?
It is the exact title. I'll get it for you.
Steelers folk. Into.
It is An Engineer's Perspective on Warding.
I mean, Eridel is going to try and read the title and be like, the fuck?
Protection.
What language is it written in again?
I think this is in common. Trade stone. Because it's I got it from the Ravenwood Library.
Did you steal it?
Yeah.
The honesty.
You just see Alistrine like squinting at the title of your book.
Did you want to read it as well?
I don't think I would understand it.
It's just yes, it's quite arduous to get through, but I'm working on some things, trying to get some more insight. That's why I need some more books. It's not helpful with only having one source
Insight on what exactly?
on warding. So protection spells
From what?
from all sorts of things, mainly the illithid.
That's a good idea. Yeah, so it's a very good idea.
Otherwise, we don't want a repeat of last time. Kayak the Arakokkern machine bowman tearing down on us.
Machine bowman.
No, we do not want a repeat of that. How does one even kill an illithid?
I suppose maybe removing their head may help. I don't know. It's ridiculous. It's like they are a myth that we imagined them. It's nothing. Everyone's so oblivious up here.
Can't imagine there'd be too much information where you're from, anyways.
No, I'd never heard of these in Newlands. But I'd wager bets that Stella Lapsus has some information since Orilla was quite knowledgeable.
Yes, that does strike me as odd.
The Stellarian, they know things. They're resourceful.
Are they?
Yes, when you have a eons old empire that's based on a majorocracy, then I think you'll learn a thing or two.
But they don't take too kindly to psionics either, do they?
No, they don't. Never understood well. Actually, a quick question for you. Is it frowned upon as much as like necromancy? Is necromancy frowned upon in the Golden Empire?
Necromancy is not frowned
Yeah, I
upon.
didn't think it was.
It's depends on the necromancy. The school necromancy is not frowned upon, but you know, raising zombies is it's the use of the magic. So technically, when Alistair revives you,
that's necromancy.
That is necromancy. It's not divination. It's not anything else. It's necromancy.
Raising them for malicious.
Yeah. So like, I mean, there are places in the world that you have not been to, maybe wouldn't even know about, that are totally cool with any kind of necromancy. Like, you want to raise a zombie slave, you do that. You use it.
Would I know Stella Lapsus is one of those places, or
it's not? It's not one of those places. It's you know, necromancy is a tool, but it's about.
To me, it would just be because I don't know anything other than that they don't like psionics. It's similar to on the vein of they think it's threatening, like raising.
Yeah, I mean it's yeah. Maybe not for the same reasons, not the same area, but like they that same vibe.
Well, I don't really know. It's a powerful form of the arcane. Much like if you were to raise the undead and use them as weapons. Something that needs to be kept in check.
I mean, I can't control anyone.
No. Can't. Not like what I've experienced in the past, no.
Has it been psionics?
People or things demonstrating powerful innate abilities like yourself. I couldn't even tell you if they were psionic themselves, but what they possessed was more threatening than what you possess. That's for sure.
The ability to use someone's mind to manipulate them.
Spanning courses of months. No easy feat.
Can't have been pleasant.
It was not. And you never really feel like they've truly left once they've moved in, that is. It's a mark. It's hard to fully shake it.
Yes. Yes, I know what that's like. I'm glad all of you are alive.
I'm glad that you are all alive too. I was worried you were going to do something you were going to regret. Making deals. Not something so easily undone.
No, it's not. Every fucking time, man.
Mateo!
Come, servant.
Throw.
That's Maya's zombie slave.
Maya's zombie.
It was to tell me that the pasta was really nice.
Good pasta.
This guy, I swear.
So we just have like every week there's a food team joke from first chicken and then pasta.
It's
Can we have
just
like
Steve has RPG moment. Mateo's like, hey.
eventually it's gonna get sort of really fancy, like a ratatouille was just superb.
I've earned my Michelin star. Anyway. What were we talking about?
What was the last thing I said? Talk about deals. Glad you didn't make a deal. And
People were alive.
Glad we're alive.
Yes. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Backtrack. Back in the moment. Well, I wasn't ready to make the deal. It's simple as that.
Look, Aradel, I can't make your decisions for you, or even tell you what you should or shouldn't do. I mean, as a friend, take it from someone who's been there. You have a choice. Some people didn't have a choice.
Sometimes I feel like I don't really.
You do. And you know you have our support when it comes to taking back your home.
I have come to realise that I can trust you. It only took me a year to trust people again.
Trust is not an easy thing to gain. You can't just buy it with flattery and coin. It's earned.
I do feel odd though. I thought maybe seeing my mother again might make me more angry. But I actually feel the opposite. I'm just happy that I'm travelling. It's, well, not for much longer.
No, our destinies will catch up with us soon.
Well, I hope whatever lies in store for you is pleasant.
As for you too, sure. I'm sure it'll work out for the best.
Quick question: what is to the west of Drakenloft?
The Great West Sea, which is like a consistent storm and has been ever since humans landed.
Wow. Okay.
It's humans landed.
Yeah, I mean Yeah, I think probably Storm maybe would know this, but it's the general scholarly consideration is that the colliding of a demi-plane into this plane caused it to become a never-ending storm.
That's cool.
A dim plane.
It's a shame your homeland is so far apart.
Yes, it won't be long. No, it would be a long time before I even considered going back to the Dunelands. So,
Could you make one of those teleporter thingies?
yes, I could, but it's a question of, am I ready? Will I be ready? To go
I
back?
mean to Drakenloft.
Oh,
Did
to
you...
Drakenloft. It would be difficult. I would need time. I think really we'd get there quicker if we went by boat or flew.
Once we're there, maybe if you could
Get-
come back, teleport back.
Potentially. Again, it's something I would need time to lay aside.
Oh, fuck. All right. Well, I mean, I'll try my best to make sure that you have a assigned space for your teleportation.
And to be a joyous day to come back to see Princess Eredel as potentially queen of the Drakenloft Isles.
Please, don't use my titles in front of me. Think we know each other well enough not to cross that barrier.
You know me, I am jesting. I am not one to address people by their formal.
But if you don't address me as High Queen when you are in my court, I will behead you.
I'd like to see you try. Bit of
Be
merriment.
like a magic show. You disappear in a puff of smoke.
Then I appear behind you with a hasty little bolt of lightning ready.
Well, if there's nothing else, I think that.
I think I'm going to, yes, turn it into.
Alright. You guys turn in, and Zuko and the Nardis take their watch, and as you fall asleep, you only can dream of the conversations they have.
They definitely fuck.
The next morning, you'll begin to awake the campfire in its embers, and you're able to gather what you want this morning. And what would you like to do as you awake?
Suppose first thing is to go to the arena.
Yeah, head on over. Make sure we are actually signed up.
Opened up.
Yep.
Yeah.
Alright. So, now in the morning you leave the church readied, likely having had a quick meal before heading in. Once again it is live with activity, and you make your way directly towards the arena, which you can clearly see. As you approach, you can actually see a couple of groups that are stood outside the doors, which are open, and every so often you see one of them like move into the interior. It seems to be some sort of queue, but not many people, and they come out fairly quickly. The doors are open. You do see two hobgoblins, similar to the ones that you saw last night. One you saw last night stood outside of the doors on the flanking sides. You are outside the arena. What would you like to do?
Did you say there's a line, there's a queue?
It's kind of like going down very quickly, and at this point there's like one group of people in front of you. There seem to be, I'd say you'd see a group of people with like ashen grey skin, with like black tribal tattoos, bald.
So we'll
Heavy weaponry.
join
Heavy
the
metal.
join the queue.
Alright, you wait for them to go through. You see them head on to the interior. You can see inside. At this point, what you see is a large like entrance hall, and there are several like little booths on the flanking sides with like metal bars. They appear to be what you could best describe as like box offices or something to that degree. And then at the other end, you see staircases that wind up the sides, presumably going to probably a stadium of some sorts, some like rake seeking. What the fuck am I saying? Rake seeking. Fucking hell, raked seating. But as you head, oh, you're getting attacked by a fly there.
Yeah, it just dived on me. I saw it going round. They just went.
Okay. All right.
Sorry.
As you make your own way in, you can see these sort of box office areas, and you hear a voice saying, "Next!" And as you turn, you see what appears to be some sort of halfling, with like messy dark brown hair, with a large ledger and a quill, currently finishing off writing something behind these metal bars in this booth. Hello, I said next.
Sorry, we are. I believe we're here to sign up for the competition.
Very well. How many of you are there?
1, 2, 3, 4, 7.
Know this by now.
7. Very well. And under what name?
Fera Carta.
Good. And you have the sign-up fee.
What?
Please tell us how much the sign-up fee is.
100 gold pieces.
Are you fucking kidding me?
Wait.
Oh.
Each as a group.
As a group, you sign up.
You know what?
Say anything about that in Deep Bay?
He did not say anything about that in Deep Bay.
Well, we are not responsible for what you are or are not told at other places. You're here, you've signed your name. we would like to start the sign-up fee, please.
How much money do we have left in the
We're
pot?
100 gold,
I have a total of 1 gold to my name.
We have enough.
We have-
I'm
we have
pretty
enough.
certain.
I can give 10 gold.
That is fine. I can cross your name out.
No,
1,000.
No,
Whoa,
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 no,
wait,
no.
we have enough. We have enough. I wrote it down. We have
1,000.
we have 1,810 gold
Oh,
pieces.
yeah, we're
we can
alright.
definitely afford it.
Yes, the sign-up fee is 300 gold pieces.
What?
No.
Would you like to rephrase that?
I'm
Sign-up
gonna
fee
I'm
is
gonna put 100 gold
150.
pieces on there and then done.
Roll me an intimidation check.
What a wank save.
What a wank save. Jesus.
Very well. Takes the coin, counts it out. A few moments go by as he's counting out. Good, good. Fera Carta.
Right.
7 of you. Have you competed here before?
No,
Never?
Never.
not a single time, no.
I see. Well, you're in for quite a tournament this year. We have a number of well-respected agents this year. Zealous the Red, Tilthana Vine, Beck the Tamer, Cold and Fleetfoot, all of them have fighters in this year's competition.
Wonderful.
All of them with histories of victories.
Could you put those names in the chat?
Sure.
I love those moments.
Yes,
of
they
breaking
all
the
have
fourth wall.
fighters this year. And good luck. Some of them are rather good.
We're better. You can give them a wink and go off.
Lead me to it.
Well, for your sake, I hope you're right.
Let's go.
Oh! By then, I was going to say you need to find a place to settle if you haven't already, but whatever, bye.
We're on
See
it.
your corpses later.
I'm done talking to this. I'm not going to say what I was going to say. It was very rude.
This is like the Inscriber all over again. Just relentless hate.
You immediately head on out of the arena back into the muddy thoroughfare. I don't know what the actual word is.
That is good. Thoroughfare.
Got those names?
Selenus Thread.
Oh shit!
Just waiting.
I just, I was,
What?
What?
oh nothing.
Is there someone to do with...
Thrisk.
Shh.
So, what would you like to do?
Find out who the fuck Jay's freaking out over.
Kill each other.
Oh yeah,
Alright.
we're supposed to be having a battle royale.
Oh yeah, let's fight.
Wasn't that the plan?
Yeah.
Well, yeah. What are your plans?
I was gonna go to a kind of clear-ish looking area and set up a parameter in our mind's eye and then attempt
is it
to kill my
1v1?
party mates.
Is it 1v1s in like
We
a...
should probably establish this.
Yeah.
How do people feel about doing 1v1s?
I mean, I'm assuming that this
No
is
feelings.
going to be a
Sorry,
battle royale situation anyway. So I'm happy for us to all just have at each other. I think that'd be fun. But
Yeah, I'm
if you
good
want to do
either
1v1,
way.
That'd be fun. Yeah.
Ewan's like, fuck.
please make me plan a battle royale.
Mate, don't tempt me to start the competition tomorrow right after you've all hurt yourselves from fighting each other.
I mean, we could
Alright,
do
so-
maybe both. Just pushing my luck here.
I don't mind. I'm easy. I think all at once would be fun, but if you want to do 1v1, we could do 1v1.
Yeah, what do you want to do?
I'm a little bit
When you say
anxious about
1v1
doing Battle Royale because I
As
feel
in-
like I might be a target because I've been a bit of a dickhead to everybody. So
So like 1v1 as in like it'd be like we'll do it in
Totally.
pairs, and it would just be those two fighting each other.
Can't we do this without Zuko?
Zuko.
Oh, yeah.
Now or next time.
Well, it would definitely be a next time.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because
Yeah,
I think
yeah.
it'd take a while to do it.
It would take a very
Yeah.
long time. I just want to know what's fucking prepared.
I think we go find somewhere that's fairly open,
yeah,
where we can just duke it out, let off some steam.
yeah,
Enjoy it.
sure.
Alright.
Battle
Unless
Royale.
anyone has
Yeah.
anything they want to
Raid,
do.
but we just actually
Yeah.
want to beat the shit out of each
Raid.
other.
I will. We can figure out the specifics of it before next week. So I think that is probably a good place to end the session. So you've just signed up. And at the beginning of this day, will there be a battle royale next week? I have no idea. We'll talk about that.
Next week's Jay's game, the 19th.
Yes, it is. Yeah.
Oh yes, it is. Or the week afterwards. All right. So we will see you then. I guess.
Wow.
I was not expecting it to end there. To be completely honest,
Where were you expecting it to end?
I wasn't prepared.
I mean, like the
I'll be
only
honest.
the only thing that Arya would want to do is get a lay of the camp and the grounds and just see who else and just scope out other people, especially magical people, because
Oh, yeah,
I
we
want to
know what
find
people
someone
do.
who can fucking teleport us to David.
Yeah.
Make a bet. If you beat us in the competition, teleport us to David. If you don't,
Right.
If it is to the death, then won't we have killed them anyway?
No,
Oh, yeah.
I won't let anyone kill them because I'll be like, teleport us first and then we'll kill you.
But then
I will
we're
let you
not
in.
here for the competition.
We won't tell them that.